00.9 FM suni. Na ene Thursday, February 8, 2024. And the time just about gone 25 minutes past 1. Me menti jumedie ne de bremo. Ene ya wada. Ojefobo sumi na yewomi ne de toso enwotwe afi empinu aduonu enan. Na ene ya woi etena ase a me manti dwumadie mi a medi ho chia me ya fra me ADAKABRI Mamudu Osioma me ofa ase prekope eye utility the maestro eye majere osai ajiman
ofani o
odetimanim hase
ene de ape bi ahye ye hwene so
de bibia sa ayi
wo musi ewie ma basa bi ye hu adekra wo wie
I say pulling say ya na mfuturo na airborne na noma bi so sane na nenemu it is that time we know very very important say obehwe bonse na ominimu nyina
are dry
enti e wo san wo da hono mo a da bia mansuo men na ma vitamin C no so soluble one no na emel na ya so na se cold no so a eno anse wanya nightness into nightness no
nightness na dey adura na
do a friend nightness
okay
normal ba ko nan na ewo etimi si normal bebra no into nightness no betimi so amwada ye soundly so no it is abre we say dey nenemu ano no and then to do okope na so mama me nightness
okay
nightness no ebe bua pa na etimi dey aje nya sa dey a mfuturo no mfuturo na die bebe wura mo nteme ba na me no abeka mfuturo no wasa
okay
se enipa efri eye Pokuase Festus ade kwa kokopim new afutu no eye se waduru eye ensom junction no so hokrai friend no atwemu ana so no
junction so no bia filling station no
bia filling station no ni edin pa ekro ni din ye atwebu ana
okay
etu fri atwebu ana na wo ko new afutu
okay
so ntun say right afutu na watwa eye denso no na nkronkro ni bebre bun say na yakata wo mudin so because some junction I kind of bro one media so hunu but hot junction so on no atwebu ana
okay
where atwebu ana ti atwebu ana that na baba be kam pani ase o say e ka atwebu ana na ase ne sen so hunu na would free Pokuase Festus and they just say now would free Pokuase kra ko fise right then so be in the hotel Festus hotel and abeji din na fa Pokuase Festus na would the kokodru eye atwebu ana new afutu anse no akoto shell no a owo denso no so no so ahunu emfuturo eti ye wo measurement bi anti that time we say there's a majority ma menyam intro no wi anse ma beka sa ho no masem kakra if we say emfuturo enam ho no no emfuturo enam ho no no ho na check upper respiratory diseases kura ho na check here so ahunu ha adwene kakra na ADAKABRI Mamudu Osioma na misinia ko karata majari osai ajiman otechiri no production ni sipanyini ko jodame ado ne naso oni majari defo ya na ahyehe na ne nakwie friye na service mrante ko ayimienu abra wo service wo na camera si wo so sa so na technical production de abra frema bankro woni nana ya safo o maka o muti apam ho notwithstanding the camera na o interactive making sure say baby ada yebeko say ye exo say ye Facebook o say ye Instagram o ni nyina on be make sure say ebeko enti na yahwe na yetime atoto anu akire no engineering team no achu agbo worker atiakwa na najare na nabuaje na adasan kromadan nyina san mrane say sempro na fe yede aba bedru yede aba bedru facilities group no the big solo and a dada and a Godfrey your friend Ubrana ɛna yaw ɛna sam sami na face so no DJ Bosco Mapuna na face Mills nso ya tanmra ne se tɛtɛi na yɛhunu ba bia die fufu ɛbɛkɔ akɔ ye ne no chicha kakra ɛwɔ hɔ democrata no edimu nsɛm ni bi ɛbɛhwɛ na face so interview ba ko mienu bi enso so ɛwɔ hɔ na fe empanimfo enso so ɛbɛba ɛyɛ na nakwadwa agye yabua MPP Courage Nobi Movement for Change Emmanuel Alote NDC parliamentary candidate for Anyaso Otuom Okwako face that Tobin na face Yasani Tano. He is a political analyst inti eneno won betena se nyabre akasa we obi a mrantem kwadwa agye yabua so wa mantem
ono na on time man
what ya na enne wona woda paso Dr. Bawobia baabia eti wa mantem na fe wo ba ne beduru na betwintwa obi anam dwuma me de bedu dem ano wo mpe brantam na wa bra be ka wasem emientie na ne nyina mu no yetimi de aseda so de ama eye menkrofo yi
kunu
kunu Ghana
kunu fo
menkrofo yi kunu Ghana na eno so da ha na atimi aboa wo na yehunu ba bia ye de fufu ebekọ akọbọ right Majele na what you saying?
Wafa yegu so pa nyame adom ye ho ye.
Okay.
Nyame adom ye ho ye.
The short sleeve no so fatal.
Me ana usually me pay short sleeves no more. Na ma ye east.
Okay.
Yeah, na just say.
Fatal.
Me that.
There be at me say sky blue. And then nkube.
Nkube no.
It's the same.
Say dunkwa nkube no.
The dunkwa nkube no. And I just say okoye na. Nipa kro no a. Okisi okokoso no.
Na odi
afam ho sa.
Oba bi no no hage me. O hage me.
Mo hwe ne kokoso.
O hage me na ade na ka o.
Em say oba cross na no so.
Oh, how give me no dia beka wo. I'm we nyina aje wo pass mama.
Wo be ko pass am. Wonim sam ko sam wo fa anim a. Me wo fa bebu sam.
Bebu sam.
What ya na? Woni ho sa o. Owura woni ho sa.
Eza bebe
me nsan ase a wutimi nko be.
David. Me am jitum.
Waye. Enti sam futroi. Amasamai on approach to Pokuase on approach to Fisi.
Yeah.
Kwa Amasamai. Etwemu a de ko twem aye atwemu ana e de ko niwa futu sam futu enti contractor ne say odimi enwota ana
wafa em so water no on water no said yes or ye no
water on
last week last week Friday the Friday me ye na me tutu ma akosunyane enti misimunta me duru ye ho no na water
na bo be sen
na 12 more because now we nyan share program ase
and no water
so bring na no water it me fan say me do na is about 11:45
driver for no beba obu pushing just on bebe tutu emia ka na say na your parents say ba kuin bearings ne ade a ha adwene yamu say wa mo pomu ho no say ye de ye fan say ye nim
hwe
because na no picture pa ye ana say ekwefri
o say futu ndi ehu
na kwa wadaruma nura eye voice bi amde ma no beba voice ne mi etie anim futuro a brante ne dim futuro no edi akire tro hu no enfuturo ne di akire o se wo mo wo pomu won mo no yetimi hunu se etisen ana
we me hu pictures bi a ebi kura deda
akwa bi ese da be wo firi asase ase ne bae a je se ntwoma ne dia
ntwoma no mo dia he ne hu
so na eti say yenye nsuo bi esubanti bi atwam ho no ma yebetimi ensuo short ate obenya bi dia ayede
ensuo do obenya bi pa na odi water no regularly because ekono who say wo be ye kwan wo ba bia na saa akọ ne de eye principal highway a eye kwantempon edi mu pa wo Ghana ha eti say wo ye so adwuma hu say traffic movement na wo so no eye heavy
in the technically no arterial road the arterial road no on there were 5 arterial roads on approach to Accra away ya back
no
and we ko highway for so almost like I say a central corridor so central corridor they call N6
okay.
National Route 6 the National Route 6 and na wo ba be ye national route 6 you know on se chance free Kwame Nkrumah secretary so hunu and na Tesek and a year free Kwame Nkrumah secretary ya to ne dini JA Kofo Avenue so to the kwa the kokosi eye Ofanko and no plan because a shorter than Osetutu Boulevard because Kumasi the longest arterial road no Osetutu Boulevard or the free a life for Asafo interchange it was the baba be tech and you Osetutu Boulevard and away so no longest you know would free carnation at the airco a year in Sunan baby Barra no Wager Road my friend Wager Road Wager Road no ewa and a year another arterial road no esusu a free Novotel has a Accra City so I call for hotel no at the free a year Novotel tete no at the call echo pim tetekwashi into tetekwashi one a year Liberation Road the Liberation Road no and I feel Legon and I said there be JJ Rollins the JJ Rollins natural Liberation Road no so at the call echo pim a year Pantine Junction no so on so and now we no are ready ma yentie nura ana or the voice note by yentie voice note ni kakra yentie voice note ni kakra
ADAKABRI Mamudu me offer me ma good afternoon me oji dey say twede amponi mpani adom offer awie yi ohoye offer we dey offer ase na napoku ma district dey bi na me dey tu anim say offer ana unua akoye road minister dey oka obeti offer mesra wo offer nko puku ase road no ye pa road minister chew ye nti na wo ye kwan no oma contractor ne water so kakra emayen offer say wudru offer nko ne important a ase ya blast bibia infutre wo wie mu no offer mesra wo una offer ena unia utrenkwa wudi onua a road minister intime pa ucha offer ewie de mad nyame ti say wo di traffic mu no anhwe yie ana wo di kwan no so na oba wanhwe yie a wo betimi apim obi ka ato because daytime nso wanimu aye kumo offer mesra wo Mamudu wudi onua o na oye road minister intime pa acha fatu na ni man normal contractor no on water so mayen enti say yenti omo ye kwan no omo be ye kwan no be wie no ye cars no dey aside that but ni ni pedua no kra e betimi bi atena trotro mu na ebi ni ho into offer mesra wo medase bebre offer medase
enura ana abrantie e dey some voice note yi e baye na odika because enkrofo car bearings hops any hop bearing any link bars no bushings ni nyina emu atete ansa na upper respiratory diseases enkrofo enya majari we yebu ansa wase minua na ene amakwata mi ofa no
so kra de right away
mi ofa no
3 years wo fa ye
na mi ofa so no majari bomba no obi ama na mame konkonsafo bi so ye dwa no ho konkonsafo pasi amu akwata just yan reshuffle no pasi amu akwata yan nyini mfiri ho yan nyini mfiri ho say ono akwakofa ni candidate aba pasi amu akwata de ni candidate aba wo candidate na di nkunim wa pasi amu akwata candidate no so a eno so ho abufuo say chinchina yanyi pasi amu akwata monya post na mode titi mo gbg we panim guase ya prakope
na wo mo na nra Dr. Baomi akasa no mo
shie omko ganya
wona onimo me se maka minim first gene de me hu no
omko ganya na wo mo mai shie gbg we pasi amu akwata yakodi no ho nkonkonsa say na ye reshuffle ye nyini mfiri ho wo di candidate aba amakwata di candidate aba wo candidate win amakwata bone be no aye
say no
bone be na amakwata ye obakwasi mete unka che na no na jeze obi di sun be ka kire me se de ye tete wono no ate ana e ma ne how na wo de wo ye professional dada ate ana waye bi but a summer working no contractor no supervisor ban na ehwe contractor no so gina mu ma aban highways for it DNT and them futuro bebrebe sa.
Oba mfuturo ne de contractor no obetima bibia. Fa na meka say me hu no once bia na or water kwan ne so. But being who how frequent or yes idea no. Because we just said the mfuturo no ho na we no so water kwan ne so a technically so omo dim kwan so omo fa so water no because we share traffic movement na nam so na ano ohye. Eti water kra no na intermittently no one share
etunya water tankers mienu now say every 90 minutes bia no tanker ba ko be hye every pokuase festus ho ana fisi ho no de akopem ni wafutu 1.5 hours no obe free hand mo no obekwa akoduru ni wafutu na 45 minutes right eti we so hye free on mo a also be na 45 minutes eti emfa so oba ni we abegina ha no atwen 1.5 hours later 90 minutes later no wasanko eti so water no from anopa no nsia ekosi anwumre no nsia ne nwanwa ne sen e ka sen ko na contractor no obebo
mfutuo ni too much
wana mbenya panyi kwada mi wa hine fa wana mbenya na ma o mini mfuturo bebre na ohumi mfuturo bebre. What are the dangers to your upper respiratory tracts no? What are the dangers?
The health one a bit me
aha mom come timpam na mpo obi ma na mecheche mu se sentie to ya mini mfuturo bebre sa ne ohumi mfuturo bebre sa e de pa dangers no e wa hene fa
already na nkasa na wiem no enye wiem na e dry nsuo ntoto na akasa nsuo no e boama asabdi oye mfuturo no entesa eti eba ne sa na agent arrangements and as a contractor
ensuo no a tese fitiano pa no nsia ekopem anwumre no nsia no water tanker mienu no ombegugu so how many times na adiasa
eso timi ye no
12 hours it is 12 hours krana nature say emfa say every 2 hours bia ye water so krana anya 6 times it ye nya tanker
a regulatory kakra
tanker 4000 liters ama tanker no en water en come 6 times ansa na adiasa ya it we so no ya factor pa the can cost no ho a be yesen
because ni nyina na say ka ho ofa ni nyina say ka ho say ka ho so na contractor no so ya we so kra the Ghanaian contractor contract Ghana ni
your friend is saying
we Maripona yes Ghanaian contractor
sir
Ghanaian contractor
Ghanaian contractor na
Ghanaian own.
Entim futuro no. Ya de ne enka hwe nkyere me. Mon kra me kan kyere me. Si ye po bia na ye po bi ne ye move on na say be bie phone line so. Ye mie phone line ye hunu. But ne no ebra no swa say enipa 9 na eba ye nyan se mo be keka. Mon tro bibi meka bibi ncha, mon tro bibi meka bibi ncha. Na ye hu si ye move on na say ye bie phone line sa. Sa contractor. Mapuna no.
My boy Ghanaian own pa. Ghanaian contractor. Ona ye adwuma Ghana ni na ye adwuma
anem futuro no sa
na futuro no de
futuro ye friend say ye amasaman na ye prosifu agina honom MTT difo agbagba ne ben ai
se kra no wo to no ma okwan no kra na aye futuro no etu
ba se prosifu no futuro mu gina mu
prosifu so egina mu
egina futuro no mu amasaman honom ye ho den asambe kra ni
enti yade a contractor na yesre no say any period we no a period already the EPF akra boy amane health alert we your friend saying health for no so be kan kire yen say the wiem na ye no ye nyina ye nya ahweye it is in futuro no so sign ba ma situation no e compounded that sign ye kese prekokra dia na just akwa ko ebibie wo ho because already baby a ye we kura futuro ni e kra ye bre so ho na ho no so futuro be wo ho it na ka this period ne die contractor na nhwe say every 1 hour bia na 2 hours bia no cars be di akoniaba e bo kwan ne so a e be water kwan ne so because period we ni nye period e papa ewi akra na mo a hu ho hwe edu anwumre nso ana ye kun eti esre se obetima ye ne sama na ye yie e de ye kwa anim na nsuo no chance ye se toto a se na abrase because nsuo no toto a e hu hia se wo be water kwan ne so yes e hu hia se wo be water kwan ne so sama na nsuo toto a no gu so ye kwan so obi an complaining futu so into when say making those advanced arrangements say wo share ateche ne ade e wo kwan yisu ya say the nsuo no to ye minim say no wo onim because obi o ye such a huge contract there or construction work and onim
so e be cost to sense ye be gugu so
wa fa we dem nya so say bia ya de a e say bunkan fa ye so
nya de o say bunkan fa ye so
debi nso ye ka ye de gu so ye de water ekwan ne de nti say bunkan fa ye so
But do we know nipa do a suffer as a result of some footray?
I'm out for the almost of papa. Ye nim number no krana. Ye nim say nipa do na because ye kwan ya nipa do no e fa so pa. E nipa do no so te ho. E te mpatam ho. An footray ye kan nyina e disturb wo pa.
Na omuni MPs wo ho.
MPs wo ho.
Na MPs nso so aye dey.
MPs say amasama free osu free five free for mensa so o amasama poku ase nso de na yewura Moses anim e wo ho na free fa wo ho na mse o ko anim kakra nsa o madu agiri yes nsa o madu agiri nso e chefa ebewom nti womo no ene se wombo mode ana womo hwe se betimi aboa na MPC na e wo ho no wom betimi aka bie na contractor na etimi aye bibi de afa ho na mfutuo no etimi aba fo because this period enye period eye papa because say no ewiema e dry na se mfutuo no san ba bebre sana eno so ha adwen yes nyina so yenim say cars enam kwan no so no eye cars in fact anu ye din yie pa nti ye besre say contractor no betimi aye bibi afa ho na MPC no so betimi aye bibi e de afa ho na etimi aboa because something which is really worrying. Contractors of Pasada Mekan, a Ghana contractor. And now, yes, we do. And to no akura do ni we dey anka say e Chinese ni bi a onim.
Eya futuro. Entiezi ano, ma me nkwa kobusa doctor say, emfuturo bebrebe rame hwenim, emfuturo bebrebe rame numu a. E dey na metimi aye. COVID pe, ana ye bo ho ban ana. Dr. Nsia sare memo ha.
Ya ADAKABRI.
Doc na wi hu mpoti sen.
Ya mi ada wo mane mo pa ho ye pa.
Ye da nyame ase aya me nuan ma doctor fo say de betisa ho ye pena mo na no poku adu second tampo ne ho ye papa na say doc ye wadwuma. Now emfuturo ho asem ne ye kan wudi free eye poku ase fise amasaman de kopem ensom junction eye atwerebo na ekoni wafutu ene se contractor ye kwan o ye wie bebo ye nyina ne mfuturo ne ye nom ene ye home bie ABC ben ene o se ye hye ne nso.
Yo me chia TFO ina. Say me ya sure say contractor nso ogugu kwa nso kakra ma ye issue. And so more yeah, these are some of the preventive measures. So be ya or the issue we go so from time to time na ma put na conform. I hope the contractor is doing it. The toso me no I mean child the idea kakra ye sua free COVID mo ni say Ghana so ye sua mask mask nye COVID nko an ye mask. Oh baby now feel say we train me be a minimum and I say lungs no more on pair now about mask. Say mask is any boy day to be a mask in a bag. We want to area on the foot on the doors. A sign a contact and a day in Shiva Gusono. Now the mask about first, yeah, they say a man foot on who may be go. The home a toss of you know say Ubikura or Hona or Arabia or one in Yamama on fans now. Yeah, quite in here, quite say, be a quan on 8 million pound so. Yeah, quite near me, a shows and put in our victim. Now, for the meantime, no, as prevention, one, also contractor, no, a name edition, you say, I often you go so, be an obit me, I am a. It also me, you and they say, yes, so. Any area or near the Namquas who drew her. Now, wash your bag, wash your bottom where you must walk. To walk all area or so far area where about one up a bear max bear 1 packet to be at 2 bagging. That's how they are show bottom. Now drew her no about now in any contractor for no year in your quarantine in week that will be out.
As I'm what can I say? It's mask no from emu aye dry ne mu so aye du. And I'm foot race as I become. The mask no bet me a jim, same foot room without him in one baby.
Yeah, no correct. Be very fine foot will be a bit about. So, mask let me prevent. Mask near me call Japan. We do on almost drew winter time and then what done it change pet no be in mask. First, I'm sure more son of COVID ban. Avoid a reable say. Summertime we are going to be able to number. When you used to it, but COVID by for you used to it. And no, I say the cough and she do I say the pabe crazy who are bought mask so over it be on your cold cacra so this time will be. The massa max one and way of life, daily way of life. Me mama de ne from prevent it. I say what can put to call me P. If now I say for I go to
Joe, Dr. Anthony Yao, Siasare, yet there was say near Futu at their mind.
Minya ADAKABRI. Yeah.
Adaruma, around the Meba dog. Right, and the ABC no one is a contract and Gugusu Amain. Na yen susuni ya
protect. Yeah, say you protect your home. You protect your home. Your mask.
David Techmenson on Facebook Live was still Dr. Baumia is the best candidate. And Dominic Danso was say Dr. Baumia lack credibility. I'm not the driver, the most useless mate ever in Ghana political history. And he say Daniel Misiwochu or say you are blind. Dominic Danso no or say come on Dominic Berescu assisted what I say Dr. Baumia is the surest odds for December 7 and Ansu Kwabena. Can you imagine Mahama to Baumia? Sandra Banafo, ADAKABRI Baumia lecture has days Professor Gachi, Kobe Mensah, Ransford Jampo, to the extent that you can see them clearly talking with bitterness. I'm happy they are going through that pain. Guta president has lauded Baumia, and that is what matters. Vincent Paul Apia of ADAKABRI. Finally, Vice President Dr. Baumia has shocked price you with his campaign message that surpasses both your butterfly man and the runaway a confirmed man that wants to come back. Coach Don Bredu, wafa for that. Come and see Kwabenya to Kitasi Road, especially Brekusu. We cannot even breathe. Make booming or see you buy bus, get driver and mate. For 4 weeks later, the car start to get problems because the people because you buy bus, get driver and mate. 4 weeks later, the car start to get problems because the people you hire know to maintain them. Every day, them they do overloading. Mate come to you say, if you make them driver, you go shun the overloading. Jonas Mukala Adiya. I said the political climate is gradually amassing some heat, and that is interesting. Blessed Son is watching us. Blessed Son, 2 p.m. Asante Mampo on Facebook Live. I said President Dr. Baumia has nothing good for Ghanaians. Malcolm booming. Baumia thinks we are kids, right? And Alfredo also answer. I say ADAKABRI FRIMPONG MANSO. You and Marjorie are doing great job for Mother Ghana. Dominic Danso, JM is the only credible person to lead Ghana now. 24 hours economy is coming. Let's support JM. Amos Day, the vice president, enough of chew and poor economic lectures. We need practical solutions. ADAKABRI. I'm watching you live from Airport City. Alfred Damjori Bay Batidam Tech. Also, some of you shouldn't be talking like this. The VIP was basically blackmailing us and holding us under duress. Joshua Menu, Baumia has no solution. The same person in the same party. MPP, not again. Emmanuel Esripiati, Dr. Baumia, with great vision. Joshua Menu, Alan Trematin is the man to vote for. Right. It is Major. I humble feel the graft. Baumia is a cobra to Nanado. Right. Yemi phone line so kakra na yenhwe. The one so it is a stretch so no.
Saying na enoma ko.
Saying na enoma so eko honom. Na yemra mehwe newspapers no. Na face so no. Nana Kwadwo Agyei Yeboah of the MPP, Courage Nobi of the Movement for Change, Emmanuel Dotialote of the NDC, a parliamentary candidate for Anyaso Otum constituency, Yawa Sanitano, almost about Betnase. Enoka Mufa, or Baumia is a la, and honestly by 0302243540. 0302243540. And 0302257902. 0302257902. Enfutro aye ka ho asemi efri aye pokuaso Festus Fise Amasamai Saipeman media up to Atrebuana edikopem new afutu shine and I was experiencing futuro no and doctor say ya bo shall mask the boy nyadene okoto bi neshe wo so wo yende. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon today.
Wala etimadina na epeden wa Amasamai one kwando
ADAKABRI some the make up for ho
and now we kala
oh ADAKABRI mo car
kuntu
car me you can say my park wo ayelulu station where ya this woman when one call around Waka. No from that my park wire railroad station ADAKABRI. Meka me number ye G33115 ADAKABRI. Wait. Meka no.
Poto na ka no ebekala.
Mpacha e wait.
Na ono an betimi ato. Maminteo.
ADAKABRI, I will tell my people for mu ye kwan from Accra to Madina no. ADAKABRI one more 24 hours. It's a bit contractor no. They do mu kan ADAKABRI mam to the car for home na nya sam kakaba. It's a bit contractor me show. Almost 24/7. Because no contractor no. Ah, why didn't you make contractor me for contractor me show? Or what a kwan no. ADAKABRI, well, is ADAKABRI my happy, but I don't go more.
Kuntu anti also unsus ya dia contractor and futura boy wo amasama to ayensom. Good afternoon. Any patch of frosting?
Bolo suni mi kasafi abokovi.
Bientie we.
ADAKABRI mi kemu ni mi free. Fiche bi mi kemu ni na ADAKABRI nebete hodi mfuturo de nyasem kitwa o. Contractor no on master kakra na we dey anu odin. Ghana ni contractor pa. ADAKABRI. Mr. Ona enra offense Ghana your vice president agrobelo no odino sa no.
Ye beduru hosesi a enje bia. Ye beduru hosesi a ye de wase pa. Ye de wase 0302243540. Good afternoon. Hello. Panyin patch of frosting.
ADAKABRI na ho ye de.
Nyame adum ye ho ye na aso
Ebenezer o de radidi abedura ni o.
Waye. Mientie wo contractor nim futuro wo amasaman e de konsom junction.
ADAKABRI really ebisu kuye wo kumase apa o. Ai soame. 2 PM na ka sei.
A chese soame so aso wa divert kwan de afa ye West Coast honum.
Wa divert kwan be na afa he. Masa besene ko from soame runabout. E ko sa makru. Abusuakuruwa wan tese untimi mfa ho enfuto ede contractor ndi rango masa eti maybe bisau ye the 1.5 year e overhead ana
there's overhead ni there overhead there's so nwura mu unzo duru runabout ma prosifo therefore ya de jeje mfuturo mu hono ma ye da me so also wa divert kwan na fa West Coast honum
wa divert kwan be na fa West Coast long tracks no mo se emfa magazine Entimi mfa the same PS so am run about o. Entimi mfa ho me PS so am run about. Now ba the what engineer ke adu dia. Masa ese mfuturo a ekunu wo so am bola kese na so adai. Na wo be kun ya na so be boy. Hwe mfuturo on ADAKABRI yade pa oba amanfo nim. Hwe se wo ya wadwe se wo fa kwa no ho within be just a stone throw minia mfuturo be bo na wo de ho be ye no. Ya be tro mo senka nyumere kwa na omo ye kwan na maye ya akabebo because ADAKABRI he daytime she ka se free offense over she ka se free so ameba she ka free akoma dan ba e main road e wo kumasi o na hwese traffic catch na mfuturo we ekuye wo eti na na kufu ado bebo ya na so be kunye omo ja ne dada no kra maye ya na nka ye better kra se ne say do omo ba be ye ba be ja ho akono minia ya o Ghana ase woniska wasem o
2 PM menya ye bia sante mamponti ya hweme ni mwai
me ba cho mate ADAKABRI oba o de mampom bigina mu de odu zongo anya bo 2 PM on problem
mi so uduru ye pe ne say akere ma de 1000 steps wa benya me ho why
1000 steps okay
oh 2 PM kwamie 0302243540. Good afternoon.
Alhaji Mahmudu ADAKABRI FRIMPONG MANSO. Salam alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
Onyame sumje kamu nyina.
Asmidwe nkan ba bia so wo bia ADAKABRI.
Allahu akbar.
Mientie o.
Aya tu magarifu. Aya oni ye quality andi ni ye. Na me tie na be me di complain.
Fama me papa na me nkasa nche no onim se quality ni wa show ni o.
Oda janu na o panelist ba na wa ma mu pure water and so na wa so effort no muti ho ya gina wi am so ye bekata na wo pia ye say yang ye ntem na nko
Can you imagine na wo kola ni ho anka din margarine nko bi bete Mami Dio, Yademar.
Yo, we are Mamenkia, Vice President, His Excellency Dr. Alagi Mahmoud Baumia, and in the Black Penny Ben Abdallah Banda. My Garunim tell Akimota, sitting a mirror. Me were from glass, me not from glass, and a war pair.
Oh, okay, let us say a year be dear more.
Aha, you can't dear Yakwaya, no. I am a departure and no one is issue. Now, you have be set a contract or your gun and your or your foreigner.
I'm majoring an Adam for no see a friend or your gun any.
Now, where there are some can't tell my girl one can't tell contract. No, I am man who contract there. One just to know 1 year, Manu. Missy Debia, me pass up and Bedula Chimota gives him a jolly bear 3 times.
Hey, sir, and so no, the Garrison Swan so warning.
It's one more me top pure water pan and me ganu.
Can you imagine?
You when you know, yes, I am fun on special prosecutor or that contract. Mumma and the dinner I am born.
A friend of Marapuna. Hey, what got him, Prince Adako? There were many years there. One whole man. Good afternoon.
Afternoon, far.
And Paja Frosting.
Nudin Joseph Casafri Madina.
Joe, me and Tiwe.
With us, Nedra Power. Namincha Mageri or Boy, my papa.
You are faster there, or you're the maestro.
The maestro. The friend said, I have money, call us near time, no.
As I tell me the momentum no someone cause I won't hear mungusunka.
Na kwaya wuke de no me fa ho. E fa ho de kofa aju kotoku. Kofa. Said Magere kai Ghana no ka say me kura me ka kira madam for bi say be Ghana ni party boys ya ba ko na de contract no ma no. Na Magere confirm me.
GBK boy.
It's a debate we crown or better of course no scanner so no until we there engine is our winning Ghana Bibinin a point. Like butcher to Weno educated motorway no so on the University Road one. Yeah, no, I ain't so that be our say. No pitting soon come contract and you are good.
Right. Uya papa ebeka uya monusu ebeka anti contractor. Gugusu 6 times in a 12-hour cycle. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, ADAKABRI.
Pajin Pacha Frosting.
Ernest from Taifa.
Right. Pajin mi entiwe.
Nekia Dr. Mahmoud Baumia. Eradin Shidano. Eno kasa ye. Ama anidafo abagana. Ame onto Ghana. You on kind for. That's all. Jama ko na support Dr. Mahmoud Baumia. So many symptoms. ADAKABRI me mo eya baby say for obi e kwan or so mo biana o council here and for yare CMA. As eya am Ghana for this e kasa pa o. E kwan ya e dey people dey wa ya kan say papa say dia community. But as a kasa ya e kwan ya so kasa dey dey no thing. Oh,
quite unfortunate. Yet ubeye na wo yen so no a na ye udi rules na ye adwuma ntu so pa say Sentinel Environmental Protection Agency for to so mo boa ye pa nti committee mi atena se ama ye factor into the contract say wha say wo ye no mfuturo na eba na o say utimi suppress mfuturo no ana na nesu so kura na mframa ne mo aye duru na san ye dry kura de and the more reason why also suppress mfuturo no. Good afternoon.
Afternoon, Mr. ADAKABRI.
Pajin Pacha Frosting.
I'm from Theophilus. I'm a friend of Bethlehem.
Yo, Uncle Theo, me and Theo.
Oh, by me as I have to Ghana for governor someone TRCO. Dr. Baumia, I am vice president, then over to me. Say, Dr. Baumia, the agent, I'm a president, you know. The president is on Friday over here. Every council of state members, or more, Mama, go and reply. Because on front of me, she is on Pagana for Chopa, Dr. Baumia, and I, but the president, if I be.
That's what I was saying. Right, 2 more callers. Good afternoon.
Minia penny ADAKABRI bakupe. Yo, I'm one if you tell me free as a market. Yo, ADAKABRI mix your pa, and over way, any Magderi. Na minia yakasapa meniadi. Wakasamum kasaina, when Nakasapa.
Dear, yeah.
A group of people. You can't make a say.
What's he saying?
Yes, I see. Yes, and you almost come home. Yes, and said,
na ya asema yeke yedi ba omi ya kaba omi asembi. And now pay attention to the show there. You be free show no so. because you're more sasam no so and out of the blue adie hia ya ne say Dr. Bawumia ye benya bra kana sema na kwa akosi emfuturo mini nipa ko obi chebelam te cycle wodi free wadi ko kolebu ko hwem futura aboso ka team. That is what we are talking about. Nipa yare edu baby amamu fa politics ni ntoncha baby na mumma yensa ye ho yare ko hwe wunua no mo aboso kan ko hwem futura wa monom ko hwe nipa etema saman de ko yensa ko hwem futura wa monom wunua no mo wabreku su ko hwem futura wa monom obi so se ka offensive route ko hwem futura wa monom. Yabeka Dr. Bawumia asem, yabeka Mama asem, yabeka Chiramati asem, but for now, yeka emfutura asem. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
But your first opinion.
Oh, yes, I'm Prosperity. You make us from Nungwazongu.
Mienti opinion.
Mpacho mawakumambra from Kakra. Neserawa. Yada. Nyamiase. Say Bawumia. Koka.
Yanka Bawumia asem. Mobia hijack bibia nko kaba ye nuruba umiasem ye druba umiasem na yeka mfutura asem mum yanka mfutura asem na yeso ye yare e druba umiaso a ne nkrofo beba na kwadwa agei obeba be kaba umiasem e de akire yen aya dotalote obeka mama asem de akire yen courage nobi obeka kire maten asem de akire yen ye wasanita no ogina mfimfi prekope mum yanka mfutura asem wo pa ba bia ye shas ye kaba umiasem anu aba be ka bi mfuturo na ame ne yen eno ne yeka ho asem eno ne yeka che contractor say yeka say na enye by force say wuti wo be ka se chinchina yenko ka we yasem obi aka ne de hia ne so obi a de obeka no ye benya bra ne yatim no mate ne yie but for now yeka mfuturo asem. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, ADAKABRI.
And you George Boatin ni President Mamintio
official partner me re na ho mai mu mai die ADAKABRI enti ye wonim die no essence kan ya kwan embedi o mai so na ye nye o mai ye wonim die ya pese de o mai binu ADAKABRI aya number radio so na me ra ho me mai suma me mai na semu mo semtrefo mo mai kwan ni ntimi nkasa bibi o mai ne kono ADAKABRI enye Bawumia ene nanado
yedruwa ni aka yedruwa ni aka. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, ADAKABRI.
Ayin bacha fro sign.
Mesro ekwan no ho na mbaba ka mo
mientio pa
ekwan no me bank cry medical bank cry esan ba esamai eno de yam pase enfutuo ni de boyen me fin cry abedu ha no na se na me him kura na ewo mu no is too much ye besre ekwan no kura no so wa ADAKABRI nsu bebre enam kwan no enti enya dia obekọ atire agwagwo se nsu ni dia ba na mo foreigner mo ye kwan na so no mo gu kwan so me na hu se nipa wo kwan no so no tuangu so mbe yare na gana ni na wo ye kwan na se wo ngusu a wo de wa ADAKABRI me se wo nti dia sem ana wo tie nka ntre no yesre wo mo nwi ye ho kakra na eya to wo bi dem wo ewia wo na se na futu akọ dem a eya enti me wo ye sakwa no ye de kutosre sre no ongu kwan no so mayen ogusu mayen ne de ka ba na ho sre kura ye be ba be horo ka no onyare Mr. Bebre,
Asia da wase supervisory consultant no dia no work at contractor no yegusum prensian sana de achekura nanka ye de. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, ADAKABRI.
Ayin pacho frosen.
Me a prof masaba biu.
Mienti opanyini.
Pacho ekwan na omo ye o 3 block kwan no. Omo omo anu ma be ye sa kwan no. Futuro so hon mo kwan no kumu ye ADAKABRI. Na kamba be kana so wakate me sa probiu because unti ye wo. Oh, ADAKABRI. Niwe bi wo no ma omo ya mpenifo no omo ye kwan na wo mu kakra no ma ba wo mu kakra no ma sa ba ye we ebi omo kwa no mo di katapila yi na efi kwan no so wow omo di we no e di kunkum ye nkrofo omo wo kwan no nyina kwhwe me tembia me kofi a atare fita efi ekwa me she fita bi tuntu na me se de ko edwumam wow nti ADAKABRI eya mo mayen kan kire contractor for no obi bia ba obiama ne contractor no onjina kwan no mo force obo no mo njina so no mo nye sa kwan no say afi mi nsa o ojina so na nya so mbara be jina so na crocodile bi no mo ye no jojo no ma ja isi won no mo ko na why na mbe ya kwan no aban foforo mbra na mbe ya kwan no ansa no asa ko yisika foforo obi foforo asa be ya kwan no.
Final 2 more callers na fe no yanko interview back. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, ADAKABRI.
Bacha Frozen. Amabumi yentie we.
It's in the same difference. Kasabi ba ya kasanya ya na to mon. Aya omo yi kan na omo yin futu no mo for to air. I think that mo yi person so na ke bia mo form contact am from plan so na ka yi ntio.
And consultant no anke de consultant number 2 na obi e test no obi e free consultant no but consultant na be ka kire contractor na make sure say contract ye dia ma no we ni na wo say wo hwe wo ye ti say contractor na anya consultant no wo hinifa and no so ntimi nka kire no.
Ana road minister I think bana no za ko on so ya we de road minister.
I say ye ke de kwasi am akwata na dwi ni me ka kire no.
Oba enye ma dwi e se di pewu 20 pounds to see na on se ni kire no.
Majari bra be pe ye friends kwasi am akwata bra na ye hwe one final caller. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Epanyin Pacha Frozen.
John, my friend free amasama.
Yo wona tumu kade wo mu nyina mi entie bio.
Oh, honorable. Yeah, bre papa me say ya dan ye wo kwan hu pa. Enye yize ye bre papa they are just up to them be 3 times. Yeah, bre pa o be to my side hands so be e kwan nam no akosi obi kwan no sefi na wo so mu bu no. E ho no mo ye food bridge no. Ti mu nyina wo me se bi na mo nke bi man. Because if you know so mugu no abisi kwa na no kan e wo to ma the moment body na central for go mehe man for me ye mu fie no fie ni si kwa na no pen ho no mo ye food bridge no yes fie ni mkura the moment body na mehe ma
yo asempa na de aba no anti afi yemhwe interview no beba na gusuneti neat 100.9 FM na eye consultant ona wu supervisor contractor oye pokuase to amasamai to ensuom no hwe na on water emfaman or turn 6 times in a 12-hour cycle in a 24-hour day no na enya nwanwa na yenyina mba afei mra me newspapers na interview ba ko menu eso ento aso na yemfa nko yenim.
Cool, fresh and trendy with a new look. Makes you feel real good, that refreshing vibe. Satisfies you right just the way you like. Do you know? Ain't gotta do it alone. Specialized makes you flow. Anytime, anywhere. Specialized, feel different. Always think specialized. Special ice, natural mineral water. Feel different. Think special. This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
Hey, catch it. Listen in here. And you ma beto to dia me baba no hwade no. Hwem so betumi a. Hey, aso. Hey, now beka. Ya John to mami en sa duku potomanto. This way chocolate drink. Na kan wo hwe afi bia so be renew our renia. This way chocolate drink. Na kan sia. Oh, aso. We den kan no tumu ho. Me be mo anu so hye kwa dia ka ho. Wo hwade a wapi ho. O ka sa batete e da fom ho. This way chocolate drink.
Crash up a baba warrior.
Aso.
Ye fear said this way chocolate drink, ya sorry, no pan on the enum. Ye bishop free gym no snack. Ye nya ho ho anu ye de serve wo mo. Ye did really a pebibia bogu ya de so. This way chocolate drink in yanum. And this way what ya no a he se kire wom koko wom prick wom bibia wom ade wo hia ni so se.
This way chocolate drink.
De wo hia ani so se.
FDA ahwe se adweden krato emu agya tum se eye.
Sir, a womanizer. He is not good for you. Mama, I get me photo. We need them or Rob. Jane, I can't. The piano be so big. I want to know.
Maria Teresa, UTV telenovela for Fraya Kofaba. Maria Teresa, Eya Baba, wa who fefo. nimdifoɔ yi a wɔbɔ ne bra ɛwɔ kuro kɛseɛ mu nanso so akɔwie sɛ wɔpapa akɔda afiase enti wɔsan bɛɛ kurase ɛbɛhwɛ abusua adwuma sɛdeɛ ɛbɛyɛ a ɛbɛkɔ so na fɔman a wɔda adwuma na no wɔne n'ani nhyia sei ne so adwuma yi bɛtumi akɔ so anaa wɔde ho ahi ɛbɛsa akɔ ne nkyi Maria Teresa mekasa mempɛ saa deɛ no kora ne firi dɛ kɔ mafaya mo Maria Teresa ɛyɛ UTV weekend telenovela yɛsan de aba yɛyi no efiada memeneda kwasiada nwummerɛ ne nwɔtwe bia ɛwɔ UTV so sini Maria Teresa nyadaade na hwɛ bi na namfoɔ ni bi yɛ kobra abusuafoɔ ni bi yɛ kobra ebinom yɛ kakapɛ hwɛ ho yie
NIT 100.9 FM sini time just about gone 2:15 NIT 100.9 FM imanti ena yɛde bremo Nura Dr. Mamadi Baumia at the Princess of UPSA on also at the new bold solutions for Ghana at the aqua tuja and also at the HM. Any adaho Alan Martin also the great transformational plan or the Akache Ghana for Dr. John Dramani Mahama ramping up production and also 24-hour economy to bring in more jobs for the people and also the buyer. Then Dr. Mama de Baumia on also the new vision at the Abba or propose to a certain category of taxes on also free or on your opportunity when you're that fair here now who we been to see and farmer and the obey and or the catcher. Yannick Kobi Mensa, he is a professor and then a senior lecturer at the University of Ghana Business School. Any and Komakaka. Professor Mensa Yamuaha.
Major ADAKABRI,
Prof, you are now so what to say. Yo, are we clear in our minds what Chematin stands for, what Mahama stands for, what Dr. Baumia stands for, Anna?
Well, I think that now the battle lines are drawn. There's clarity in what the various candidates will propose. Extra the proposition. You can see there, almost all of them are geared towards, obviously, economic, prosperity. Now, how I will go about it, I think that, there are differences. If you are about me talking about digitalization, now, digitalization, bottom one, economic prosperity. Actually, the former President Mahama Azimahina also, I think, close 24-hour economy from his point, the production bokodo throughout the period. Actually, the Honorable Alan Chamantenzimahin about the GTP Great Transformation Program now. Again, also talk about job creation. Spent on industrialization. Now, as in na 3 eboma, etumu there, yabakande colleagues, Alan Chamantena, Mahama, former President Mahama, one is no, or ye closer, even the Yoko square like set, another, Venn diagram. What's the categorizing? Etumu there, Alan, former President Mahama, one area no or you closer and Baumia did a little bit what do you call on the other side in terms of the relatability of these why they need more digital online based and the other ones very much of what is industrialization in terms of physical production etc.
Now obi betimi abu present day Ghana amamu and do away with digitalization.
I mean, it will be over academy and I think the Nippon is limited, but if you digitalization on share than yet the main actually any your marketing, your able different supply chain and a value chain. If a value chain framework digitalization or a support system, all right, support infrastructure. Or facilitate, the entire supply to demand, processes. Another, I was a little bit disappointed. Maybe I shouldn't even say a little bit disappointed. I was disappointed with Dr. Baomiani proposal or the men of the digitalization, all in all. It is not. It is a support structure. Now, majority of the proposal no men for digitalization, it makes sense. But it makes sense within service domain. In marketing, you will be a friend of service dominant logic. Service dominant logic in there. Even EFA manufacturing, which is typical goods dominant in there are service components. Now, a manufacturer, friend, Kwansana, let's be bottle Kwansana, other processing or a service. Distribution processing or a service, but it has physical component to it. Into the friend there, I will in Kwansan in a memo order. Metu my internet to do and our phone do, na my fraud, na my order. Into metu my digitalization here. Metu my share with phone with Visa card, another debit card, another whatever, another Momo, all right, or your service. But then urban distribution or there will be physically, or for concern, a do come physically, or drive physically, or the bow premises physically, and I'm a one. As some of my catcher, able to deliver consent through internet. You cannot deliver consent through e-commerce. Entum means easy via e-commerce. Entum and that via e-commerce. Hotel, able to make book online, able to make you online. You don't have to be there. But up and there. Hotel number or their call and I'm a yes. In business, I'm in a business school. I understand the value process and then value chain process and then supply chain process. In business, at least there were 5 business processes. Your friend, people processing, a process. Another one is your friend, goods processing. Another information processing. Another mental processes. All right. Now, them 5 processes, 2 enable to execute throughout with digitalization. That is information processing and mental processing. Mental processing there, Eric Kobina, you see, things like faith, chapel, a bit to my year without people's presence, and that's because a pedemo, what you don't have to physically be in the factory, another the faith factory for them to make you think about God. Be able to be in the distance. Education, internet, COVID be classes and that because you are touching the person's mindset. Into information processing and mental processing services, you can do it by distance and that. Now, goods processing or your raw material. See, the one to be or your farm, not so cassava. Now the cassava no call your friend then another antibiotic cassava no do call your nature bar. Them raw material cassava entum and farm for internet to do. Although be no cat at the bar. So goods processing, people processing, and then possession processing. You cannot do it via internet. So the dominance of the most service, the most process able to as a digitalization are those I've told you, which are service dominant ones. The most ones with the goods dominant and physical process, you cannot execute them with digitalization. Into Zanariana, he tend to laugh the way 24 hours. If you look at the majority of those that he mentioned were service dominant. In fact, most of it were payment service or payment dominant services. But what about the majority of the rest of the business processes on everything in the internet? I was expecting him to say that ABIA may comprehensive, may adopt ABIA Alan Chamantina came about GCP, which talks about industrialization, assembly of cars and things like that. My adopt maybe 24-hour Mahamarike, which is of course in the funk of Ubetuma, your shift system, etc. Now, maybe digitalization, but I want, but I support. Now, you are making sense, but and for being some and so and despise it, Nankade, I wasn't naming Yansa. Yansa, you'll be an nipa bakudimo. Unless a coquanancy. In a free day, one good in any Yansen, a best rama for saying your coquanancy that. No. Oh, they appreciate Ubiani solution. Na etumi yebo de kede ejina se me okay about mafaka kama faka me the digitalization board na my you don't do that. So yes, you can't despise digitalization, but my point I'm making is digitalization is not all in all. It's a support system infrastructure. It does not actually comprehensively solve the issue that we are talking about. And most of the extra examples on me, and I thought that he was not being honest. He was being disingenuous. Ekede Ghana for the lead in drone. It's as I say, zip line. We are the number one leader in the whole world. Master, as American, on your papa, on your correct. You know, drone services, zip line here. On your the best thing. Into now they do who. Why quiet today? Edge loan, Edge loan is your business. Obi baby some pempede ekere ebede ekwaji loan. Because edge loan on yaza what ho anamba. Edge loan na chere wanke se nyi sika. Na eko bobo se baby na dey. In time fan wo. Now, what he mentioned about the drone services, delivering when your country is not accessible, that's where you need that intervention. So it's an indictment to you in terms of your development. Because Ghana is not well developed, because we don't have proper infrastructure, health systems into places, because we don't have multiple roads. Over to one my pregnant mother be one point to the other point. Internet you use drone services for those healthcare delivery. Internet you use zipline. Countries are where properly laid out and properly assessed. They don't use zipline. I'm telling you.
Ya beba hodmo na ya particularize particular examples CBA or happen on. But we shall see, Professor Benson, I can say John Dramani Mahama 24-hour economy in Alan Martin one also so GTP, there was some kind of synergy as opposed to Dr. Baumia and so they are working. So in effect, are we able to categorize Alan and Mahama as more or less happen on the industrial sector as opposed to Dr. Baumia happen on the services sector now?
Of course, because you see, Obiara Oyen Owonyimzi modern systems, and there had been a lot of documentary. Me, I've lived in England for almost 21 years, and I still be there. Now, Echo, there was the time at BBC we showed documentary about the fourth industrial revolution. There is a serious concern about jobs and people losing their jobs when it comes to the fourth industrial revolution. Quite a lot of people are concerned in the West about the impact on jobs. That's what I say. Ma, yen here no or your jobs, and the years that you need jobs. Alan Mantini GTP, but Mahamani 24 hours. These are the things I said, we are committed to it, not the way fundamentals in the writer. Over to 1 million jobs, not digitalization. Digitalization rather, arguably, reduces jobs. Appear be so beyond expert in e-commerce, non-control. As I say. Now, Marangasa me use the software boyfriend Otter AI. Otter no, the menu interviewer, na me record that no or transcribe. Previously, before I had Otter, I used to send my transcript to young lady Bia over UCC or your language or your transcription. Na me na wa charge maybe a per tape. Na wa maybe 1,000 cities and 500 cities per tape. Bisan there since minya ote bisam dem akono order. Minko because me need for that.
So in effect, artificial intelligence, eba bejin krofo adwuma.
Of course, obianyim there or cut down. We have to retrain people into different areas. We don't want to cause panic, so we don't say it as broadly. But if this will be our experts in some of these things, they will tell you it is crumbling jobs. All right, now. As someone making about young ladies here, so young ladies, a man could say, no, you met the clients. I will lose this because me the author record the main classes, Nazim, record the main interview. I don't go to her for transcript. unless they may know tree because author doesn't actually transcribe in tree or English. In such as it. A bit of NLP expert, natural language processing expert, they will tell you a lot of clerical work actually going away because of digitalization. In such as it. It is a parent who job creation, which is our number one concern. In a policy, overtum one my and them job creation. On your proposal, it is rather the 24-hour and the GTP. These are the ones you can talk about. They creating actually jobs. Now, let's take into consideration the economic situation. Ghana, it is very much in about digitalization. Very, very elitist policy. When you go just across here, majority of those places, digitalization is not an issue. Fundamentally, it's about jobs, it's about social welfare, social protection. And you are articulating so-called elitist policy and you are happy. And you think that Yambo will say, I think that he's gotten it wrong. Name Kofuna won't handle, no. I think that they are speaking too high of, and I can afford the relation, AI and I say, do you understand its implication on the people?
Edima yenhwe so say enti baby a all tout to as a service and the convenience abre residents no to say in my palm I have my phone and I can pay for my water, I can pay for electricity, I can pay for my insurance, I can pay for my driver's license renewal. I can do so many things. Either through I would have gone to an office to have it done. Sadly, in my palm, mitimi yeno. Either to one na manually or more yes, what would they be doing?
Adakabre, say any bizarre na convenience as you show. Any bizarre, say any bizarre na convenience on here. Say any bizarre in here convenience. I mean, kada I want to win your busy when here convenience, but make a samacho de say in here bubu account. Let's say niska ato even Kofi Brokman is you don't yearn for convenience. You yearn for convenience when BBI in such as economic BBI etc. Let me tell you, the means Kenya or more convenience had put away a lot of people. And why a clerical level jobs. In fact, ne proposal, it means that if you're not highly educated, if you're not, of course, in those of us in technology, I'm a heavy user of technology and I develop software. We say that technology adoption is not based on education, all right? That's what we say, because obviously it is through training, etc. But at a certain level, we have what we call low technology and high technology, processes. At a certain level, you need a certain level of education before the technological application will work. And our level, in fact, by me, our customer for the year thinking, our policies, it works for us. We ain't yet thinking as yes. But look, echo just these areas, community and then go and tell people about AI. Net response. So my point in there, new proposals are too elitist. He's speaking at the top as if the Nankasano onya sure, onya aware the Ghanaian economic, fiber no architecture no. Onya very clear on that. So
It my young say, Professor Kobe Mensah, trying to lump Mahama and Alan in the industrial sector and lumping Vice President Baumia in the services sector. And they will be to say, Oko supermarkets in Europe, Kube, Yenumi, and brand or my friend Yami, YAMI, in the European market, also fresh coconut. So fresh coconut, no. What me a package in the kama, and I say a product of Thailand. So in one breath, you manufacture a coconut drink, a coconut water, no. yɛtumi de a packaging a manufacture a produce a good container mu de call European market. In the same European market no no I am able to pick my phone in Ghana and Kewa Jumia and now say Glovo na metimia order say mumfa package coconut water and from Remy na me de me GPS address aka ho near deliver their mommy. So in that score, no, do we need to be able to manufacture things here? And now do we need to have the manufactured things, rather delivered via SaaS services sector?
No. You see, such developed countries, UK, in the US, I mean, for Germany, Naza, fundamentally they were manufacturing countries. At some point, they had to restructure one economy, because at some point in the economy, he up Nazi, they had to restructure one economy into service. Now, manufacturing cuisine China in Asia. Why? Because they became too sophisticated. When illegal structures, became too sophisticated. When you start broading, because humanity and inside tracker major insurance. And then the entrepreneur and the owner of the business has to pay so much. No, it's okay. Pano. My main site to me manufacturing goes to China. Naming manufacture when I'm from England and UK and I'm button. All right. And I mean take opportunity of even the cheaper labor now. And the government they know. Urban will lose jobs. Okay. And they will lose opportunities for employment. Okay. No, it's a bad I would then institute certain measures so that my system could be service dominant, so that I can still make money from this manufacturer, another entrepreneur, way you need to make tiny, so that I can get a lot of it. So even though they reduce the manufacturing, dominance in their country, they still found a way to make a lot more money from the entrepreneur, from the business person who is maybe in the country. We are still at our basic. We are still agriculture based. We are supposed to be manufacturing dominant. So that we'll be in a factory for US and Germany. Now we are baby cheaper, yeah. Another baby red tapes on your 2 chenchia. Oh, me fan kwesi Ghana red tape no ndoso. Metu me nyankofo mbebun pi obetu wa ejuma one gym to them Germany mafama wabe Germany. No that bad. You haven't even done that. Our yes, from small even a year of the ID card and as the edu you have arrived. Until now we have to move to digitalization. Does that make sense?
But I see the choices we need to make. Either do we choose to manufacture or do we choose to market, redistribute,
and manufacture? We choose to manufacture. I mean, I said you me teaching as the CNM could be someone over down or AGI for even call on a way import food like good toast. Could be someone the one preference bear more. We choose to manufacture because we cannot compete with those service dominant countries. Yes, the comparative advantage. All right. We cannot, no matter how fast or whatever our systems are growing in terms of services, we can't compete with service dominant countries. I want to work on manufacturing all the data. I want to work on Fort. Sometimes I want to work on Fort Industrial, Fort Industrial era. Work on manufacturing all the data when them baby. I will question when actually can Fort Industrial era. I mean, what can we?
You read the other side of it, whether with the advent of digitalization, you can run away from some of your civic responsibilities, like paying for taxes. In digitalization, Vice President Kachere say, link Uganda card with NHIS, link Uganda card with Social Security, link Uganda card to a tax identification number, link Uganda card to a GPS address. Can you escape your tax obligations. If indeed, when you may be aye, na I was so put here some basic taxes. Nanka woko pe baby akota akodwene ho a. With the digitalization, no, can you escape?
ADAKABRI, the digitalization, fantastic. Escaping these things, I mean, we still have people who tax avoid or who actually escape tax. Only for the young fan there, we are sophisticated enough to plug those holes. But let me come to a very fundamental point. Say, in new visa, you certainly cannot pay tax in the first place. And I mean, you can even ID card you, I'm sure that in your Kofupia will retrieve one or friend and address system. That means GPS address system. Will be a register Ghana card and at some point, one of the main colleagues to be different. They may GPS. Let me send there. But with GPS number means I mean to my Bomi UK address as we speak over the phone. Womano kaka me to my bo. Maybe so ADAKABRI but with GPS number nature me able to my bo. In fact, a lot of people would be able to work at a Ghana card work at one born. They didn't get it. They retrieved the GPS number and will be a Ghana card. That's why they retrieved it. I can tell you, a lot of people did that. Such a person, a while more GPS address system will be a Ghana card. If you want to chase the person for maybe a taxes away with that, are you able to arrest the person? Can you identify them to their locations? You can't. Any system, will change, will move. If you what's now 2 years, no, we'll move to another place. All right. Now, unfortunately for us, we haven't developed in a sense that even land, baby, all courts and landowner and landlord in the market, register baby net first and then move about so that I can have a trail of you. And to say, Nipanete, baby, identical baby, no, yeah, Ghana card, the GPS, no, yeah. 3 years later, we move back to Medina or the different GPS. The Nipanese will kawa, and any old identity boko. The echo identity na, we move with one. Landlord, non control there, being baby work here. How are you going to trace the person? That is why we're saying that by digitalization or can or sin on your comprehensive internet. Okay, in a flurry, or de will assume a subject into analysis on saying autosin complete. Into on your honest, no on your zini ye near Utumi ya honest no yazini the one fine campaign, but on me no nyim senti famana who will support. But more case it is flurry, it is flamboyant. On your zini ye, near who there ampa. Just about becoming a president.
About Prof, example of my obi to say UK watching what dress and our Noah ubi to me akano easily. In fact, it should not be your address I can easily, but it should be your zona improvement project code, no? That is your zip code. And the be maker say what is a beer East London beer War Farm Store and once the beer bay E17 and with the E17 then there's a number say 2BW into E17 2BW nebia we are number 37 with number 37 E17 2BW chame de ma Uber ubetimi de ma ko at the Makwa could see Ham Street, 37 Ham Street, E17, BR3BW. Straight away, no, the same numbers. E17, 2 numbers, 1 letter. BW, 2 letters, and then 1 number. It is 6 figures, be a mixture of numbers and letters, you know. You the same a mixture of 6 numbers and letters, and a Ghana GPS address, you know. So why are you able to keep the London bit but unable to keep the Ghana bit?
Because Ghana, disparate. It's not so coherent. Now, since America say I'm new Kimpo, I'm thinking through my head, trying to memorize me code, me feel GPS, and I'm struggling. Since I'm a maybe so that I will match to baby TV or an my. Since I will maybe so ADAKABRI manko, but maybe so. Make a sure that you know catch them while one because I kind of GPS. Man can phone.
Men can phone so, and I'll be honest. Say I cannot readily recall it, but the only point I can make about it is say, in as much as say, me can the house number is be a number 37. Na me bo postcode no a bit me de ma call a year 37 Ham Street. Our war farm stone. In that same breath, no. Ghana, no, me house number nen come. It when I do the GPS address now, it will just take me to a location. Ube say a dime way but there is no house number. Actually, say house number 10. What's our location? GPS in the Mekono.
America, the Ghana don't know one year. Because it's the American in Abrochid, what categorized in and there's an area code and there is an individual what do you call road code and there is an individual of a street code and there is an individual house number. Yanzano, onto them. In the edge, you know, then edge you go through me, then today, years, I'm sorry, you still forget. And that's it. Because one for intention, Papa no was the one for promotion, and one for the yaya, on an way. Sanka was intention, Papa developmental intention and combat. UKZIAK. Underneath it, you know, there is exactly the kind of stranger or intimumbo. But what superimposed that categorization on that satellite number, not the man. Onto it, there's a certain bit that you don't see, which is the satellite, auto call. But who more superimpose, only as why deliberately to categorize the place so that it makes easy recall. Yanyane them because of Pentem or that fan.
And finally, before you go, are we so clear in our minds what the various plans stand for? Say, UFA GTP, or say yes, 5 clusters, and then in even just one cluster on the economy, there could be 152 solutions to the issues about the macroeconomy, and then also UFA 24-hour economy, basically ramping up year production by creating more jobs, by letting more people work in a given 24 hours, and then also taking up the bold solutions for Ghana. You can recall at least some of the taxes. He didn't use any adjective to describe such taxes, but gave an indication that Baumia government would abolish such taxes. What do you make of that?
I mean, say, be some making my cultural differences, but me sure that Ghana for because obviously you campaign time to make sure that Ghana for what it is snippet to be when you small ideas to be. But as to the totality of it, it would come during the campaign period because the campaign period, it gives a lot more visibility to, and Kofoso will pay attention. They do campaign now. It will be the campaign. So those who want to follow the conversation and make their choices, will be paid. No, and so I think that for now, make sure that Ghana people are able to really distinguish between the differences. But make sure that now, for me, the differences are clear now. And I can tell who is ready and who is not. To Ghanaians, they make sure that as time goes on, they will come to that realization.
Okay. Professor Kobe Mensah, always a delight to speak to you. That's it. Right. And Professor Kobe Mensah, and Yatineno, and quick to always tell us his mind, and in an honest manner. Yaw, Asanitano. He's a political analyst. Yes, so on soon do hakane. Or muake, ye differ to politicians. 1 month, or Basso so see in Yabrin in Alfamano. Yaw, Yamuatanasi.
Over Mejoso Medasi.
Now what to say?
Yamisha, oh yeah.
Yamias, most why effect. Or Pamuata dears me, Pibidia Mano. So, Nimata dear Pam.
Metro Nipacro.
And a fabric, so important fabric, and
Oh, there be.
I
want to believe safely. Yeah, nyame na meto.
Nyo na to ye de. The brewerim ka kana me feel fabric na me say wakoto and ya fabric ya anya Ghana ha. Ya to Ghana fabric. Uko your friends say w time that uko your friends say new styles for you kura ho ma so be nya fabric ni bi ato.
Really?
New style uko su say ya wonya fabric ni bi nto.
In fact, I have never even heard say Ghana this type of fabric I'll be to me their palm kaftan.
Sir,
I don't know.
Printex, wooden.
I know of only those one colored, say different colors into my style of.
It's me, yeah, and to my power has a.
Me who playing ones of this nature, and I say suiting material.
And because we say here no. One ma Thai Asian companies no, and yeska. So now do a palm yen the son of Ghana in a palm.
Oh, and the Ghana
on the finish, so you're top notch.
Yeah, sure.
Until you say Ghana need me palm and my finish no. Top notch. So who know? Look at the Shemia. A British company. I no grano a Max and Spencer. And a wapam shirt I do quajuma. And I made the Max and Spencer shirt. I shall do quajuma. Fabric and also the crew one. A tricky for also the Pimpam Yena. A Diakugu Max and Spencer. And I also Sudi. I said the gun and in it to me a pump. I'm a finish. It is a Bruniso machine. So it means to say. And then yet me pama dear da mortenum a cobby stone or a for your hair. So no mini about so wadabraka. Oh come on, the din ma and omuti me pam and normal kama wa hadia. See it to be born more than a fabric never come one. Said the next say import substitution we got Thomas and Spencer at the pound sterling at Yakadi. Tanka Janka Ghana no quarter of fabric nanka pump. I don't know pay as a manufacturer in Ghana and now say the ability say global and answer Jumia, ye best deliver at your doorstep. No motorcyclists in the Abreo.
It all boils down to industrialization, and I may feel very sad. Say something that His Excellency, the first president of the Republic of Ghana, or Shasie, na yen to me Antuaso. Of I would you unim abako sempa and tibia ube to me akrokrami, and I say wa correct me. Men kai krano minim say. The building opposite TV Africa. It used to be one of the industrial hubs of this country. And now I'm saying, you produce in Tadie, you pamon Tadie, tell of gumu or pamon Ghana fabrics are ye yen Tadie. Until a beer, I don't know if you have a history of it. So I done a see opposite TV Africa. As you see, a Diama, a Lebanese force, a Chinese. India for
a warehouse.
But yes, it's a warehouse. But in Cromer's time, it was one of the buildings and now you come and Tadia
and Africa concrete ACP for almost since 1958 and almost also a paved blocks a year Koya and San Chino Germans EDC Babisha Mama CP Emma I feel the Reggie Manuel Mr. and Mrs. Butchie almost also this Ababishim.
So we have shunned our own. We are 2 years ago. As you see, your ton industrial setup, I'm foreigners, and the foreigners are doing normal a city woman. Our mobile export, a call Mukrum, other countries, foreign currency, they are lodging into their accounts in their home countries, as compared to Sanka Ghana, Nina, Obey. Yura Kwame despite no or more indigenous businesses. But unfortunately, the governance style since we reintroduced democracy, Akoye Bibia, we are not paying attention to development and production. Until the production sector is lacking so much. Say some materials, a bar and a beba. Yan so sabi a try a better because I mean ubia the obeya will make so much profit the normal so. It's very sad. It's very sad. Sankaye ye nanka ntomahoro aye produce. We have plain ones. Ubia betumi to be their palm suit. Ubia to be their palm atade bi opera. And say beboy, but it is not the case of late. And that's a very sad story.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, na me hwe. Address via the UK. Na akobi. Okay. obi born in postcode and the man's a can say be a ubo number, be a house number, and that's a property number. No, na ubo postcode na ebetimi a kyerɛw baby kro ama ebetimi am wo hu no in the years situation a obi ebo ni postcode SE15 6LL and one on the wabo SE15 6LL no and this is the address that comes up, number 14 Lebanon Close, London, Suffolk, SE15 okay, way 2L. Just at least road no edin abba. So and then there is another one, Asylum Road. And here's and comes situation. And obi to me bought postcode ne keke. Now or the number ne can one. A bit me at the wako. They said they be making us at 37 E17 BR 2BW. Right? Now it me do call number say 37 na Ham Street aba and sana postcode number ewo bia Waltham store. Die na yan ye de no ke betimi aya ka bo wo address no a wo bo wo GPS address na enka area na wo no road na da wo fie nanim no ka road no edin beba nanka house number no enso so etimi aba.
Okay.
In America for the kind of zonal improvement project. So the zip code. It yes also the GPS no. Can we improve such as our GPS no? Now the house number they can one. It will rather bring the name of the road and the pakro otis one.
You see, Nina boils down to lack of proper planning. So we shall come and we see Tema community 1 to 10. Now demarcations were up on point. Biara, I mean house number, Bibia, in our system here. In fact, I cannot even describe a quantum of the data that in Finfin street. They do not qualify to be streets. What farms to may spend a few, I think about a week or two. Now, my first time I'm a call Nipa ira pa, but baby obey rebia, unim house number, ne unya boy straight, and of course you are abreast with the car number, no. Say be a SE333 whatever it is, number of the cars no winim the echo a particular place.
Almost sana and in nanka we share a suffix nanka bit me anka time your friends you register a car no nanka bia we share baby a talk car no no you can tell
you say 233 and 672
man because friends say me talk car na fekania ne imu depa that's that time that was
the
indicator Honda B
okay
na a Honda Accord ne mu dey na a C157 it is C157 which is a C no na a first registered in 1984
okay
it made me tour in 1986 na just matter 2-year-old car I just say a mu de papa C157
but so when say also omo cars no no they already registered.
Yes, omo never registered. Am you na akọ register?
Exactly. This who person who ebi a person offer ADAKABRI FRIMPONG MANSO initial every year car registration number. Then you go into the system and then look for it. So being fire, but you pay extra. It's already registered. The house your register can is abomination.
It was at the C157. I just Hampstead Honda. Hampstead, and I just say. But then still
yes,
about the manufacturing sector, that is the industrial sector in the area, and that's the services sector in the area.
Manufacturing sector. But the manufacturing sector cannot stand alone. It must go in tandem with the services sector. And no dear, we must accept that. But the pillar is manufacturing sector. Because when you have manufacturing
subsector, but it comes under industrial sector.
And now you see, the more you manufacture, the more the service sector also grows. Because, for instance, you deliver my motorbikes, even Uber. The more in fact, a particular ADAKABRI pizza point. Until the more we manufacture pizza, we pizza no, na nkrofo ate wonkano. Then the service sector is also growing because nkrofo order ama your friends say motorbikes and so abefa ediko. And now almost on be advert, no almost they are growing because your business is growing, you are manufacturing. Until the more the manufacturing sector, and I say production sector, no, expand, no, the services sector also expand in tandem with it. You can't leave this one behind. But the pillar of all is the manufacturing sector.
And going forward, that here once it's a Ghana, baby, it's best to ramp up the industrial sector by manufacturing, giving motivation to the manufacturers, harnessing agric, industrializing, and no, and sana, yaba. Services,
yes, like I was saying, it will grow with the service sector because the more we manufacture, people are buying, people are doing advert, people are distributing, etc. Then the service sector, people are advertising, etc. Now, I know that you opening Alamba. Now, me send you test. Me say one. Then can person me bisa say, what is the state? Because I remember under the Presidential Special Initiative, now a sauce factory be North Industrial. Yes. What is the state of it today? This is the question I wanted to ask him. Apart from that, palm sector now under his
that sucks in India now. When you ask of the state now, perhaps we all need to find out because Nipanas Atam spearhead the late Prosper Adabla. So and a cantonments quite unfortunately been Kaibus ya 4 years and Daibuko Bugun so no. It will be say the Prosper you mano. Now and then unfortunate incident says na prosper ni hono mo did we have good management practices say prosper ni ho a ebetimi atoa so ama that socks no Pringle socks
at the time it was the most quality and probably the best and we're exporting. What is the state of it now? We should look for that, find that information. And then under President Kufuor's administration, Presidential Special Initiative of PAM. Abeno na bibia na need dimpa ba yet I remember very well. But how did we grow it? Did we hand it over to individuals? If you don't do it as a state, na ebia what demarcating na private management people manager, you will fail because as we speak, sir, abe duane bebre ni ye nursery ni the microphone. Me, I'm not seeing the value addition in the country.
Okay, and Abeno. Because for 30 years, Abeno and say, but then you are asking, say, I hear value addition, Ben, the pastor say, you knew a dear
exactly.
This uncle for your mobile tema, omoye palm oil, omoye vegetable oil, no. Now, omunya Benny be Ghana, Benso, Yenya, a Benny be free, Uncle Malaysia. MCW in the decline and go for bisa normal so ye vegetable oil. I have W in the decline. So a major producer almost so bad has ya normal so omunya benny be the year vegetable oil na yenya liver liver nya benny be the year a key soap and be
or in conclusion sir a be issue yenya ya accept say Malaysia on back and a what is wrong going to Malaysia to learn the product that they are using the palm to do? Because from Ahabano Bedru Nintri, Malaysia, for they know what to use it for. Some are even for dashboard, etc. Why can't we also go send people to say I can nap for more employment? Why you may suggest about 3,000?
I've got a company's name now, Wilma. Wilma, yes. Almost so by almost a vegetable oil.
If I say industrial Thomas or as of for Bonsa ties.
But you have a chassis for four. They say, college, Bradna, you share also to see, as a year, okay, categorization, Bikakra, Nana, Pajo, J. Yabua, Eso Ababidru, and Sunny Yabema opportunity. Ama Ubia, Aka, the candidate no standing for no. Through this interview, categorization be Basse. As a Baumia perhaps more on the services sector as opposed to Alan and Mahama happen on the industrial sector. Nana, what are your thoughts?
Offer Medasi, Menchia, Neat FM. etifu ne omo mhwe in social media na nsa na mebeba no ofana me ho say oni me amenu apani ya sanita no kan fabric ho ase em say uso mu kura hwe go me monitor ultimate say kan say ontwi me o na feeling
am feeling
o feeling wie na ka say da bi we nya Ghana de na ofa wo wie no na say wo de na show ni free
Max and Spencer departmental store
na wo tu obi fuso on to no de Ghana ni na apam wo do akoto de take ni apam o de ko UK and wo fu player go UK and wo say akoto aba
we of pass bu achi dankwa so de atade abra bi asema me she
wo na to me hwe take it ka hotel danko etimi pam niam ba de wo ho Ghana
we no pass bu achi danko wada roma me wo pass preko pe and wo de abra de wo fa na wo fa de ahye na college de so say so efo and so fabric ni Ghana na wo say na Ghanaian my onya so say
fabric ni o bisa ne ho asem e be ye dia ma ye African print kire say enei ye nkoto fabric ni bi same dress now say friend is a designer na eto
but we know say quality fabric is say no you made in Ghana na
possible offer possible the money possible ne say offer the money possible ne say a friend say GTP4 etimi ye ntoma with colors e ma ne ye ya de ntino mutimi nye plain one o metimi aye pa they can do it e bia o ma dwene ne nko ho ana say e ho no we inside ni sika ni swama wo mo but and then fabric there say me almost trying to 1 yard say 80 cities also yes
Ghana for hu na de pam
NYA Kotel ne pam there say me
sir I don't know so we twa betina yes so bad do
and so for we side design we a casual anti say na no design this we
idea mum say Ghanaian designers pem pam entire mom it is how you imagine say it me a fabric no ha na Ghanaian designers so keep improving so no na enye necessary say a tricky for any type for any Chinese for
of me share ba ku bia oye design say ya wani mu ma me e wotaki obeje di say menam krum wotaki abonten so a abrofo ni timi ba no ma beso where did you get it
in London are you oriental
yes oh but they like they want some
yes
we designer fair you press it Toby I mean we now
yeah permanent has nanka
because
your ton price was Amazon no
yes
said your ton kube
exactly
Walmart na just come better
offer take for pam near my pam say the whole world per country pam me say bo mu din ni bibi truki on okay omo pam ntade pa na de ba kwa me pe omo ho ne say oye bank manager kra or machines e de pam ade gufie into pam free ni bank wa okodru fie a mienu no betimi apam na apam de ego bo so me so no apam 100 and no de shop ni ato ama no
yes extra income
yeah omo nya metimi aka say about 80 to 90% of techies no
you know omo fa bibi say e omo hobby bi sa
omo pabo bi won man say of onam techie abonten so na catch say we handmade shoe
I'm so
on the boarding obi na de inside me kan say me be shop bi okaneshi na me to handmade shoe wo take
ate say okokuma sita for moro marketer handmade shoe of the moro market no over out in said the out the tricky for
only problem ayen wo e finishing
at the mapper finishing in your good
that be entire side there e solid
few am finishing
entire side there make catch your plane say yen ni na kuta yen no we are very comfortable with what we have here and even abrofu ni hu de yen de na obaso nim say me one person African print me pa omo ye de na omo ni je and they wish say nkomo ye de ni bi
na just a vocation and technical are be boy
now for we are see ye die and in course a vocational technical STEM of
science technology mathematics engineering
and no and as I say we are seneko menim say video be a trend one huna China for quality to fix machines Ghana for nkwala nso bɔ scaling no mo mpanimfo air fixing cars air fixing niema na Ghana mpanimfo African mpanimfo no so gwa so de
okay cricket is scaling
na cricket yofa wo scaling wo bo bi fi wo akobɔ cricket wo bo to ga ikante wo bo to here wo akobɔ cricket that me see the niema no
over cricket at over a major sport
offer niema na ye wɔ ha ye mfikyire ni sika wo ba bi o
sika wo ba bi
sika kɛseɛ ɛwɔ baabi ba yɛ didi agorɔ
okay ma you open
yɛ didi agorɔ
eti afɛ mi yɛn kɔ courage no bi soso nneɛma na kɔ aba chairman so
ɔfɛ mi duru abɔnten wa na mi te se ɛsɛ ɛyi ɔfɛ toto ma ne mu wɔ radio so ampa o production mi duru hɔ anam sɛ o de ma ne yɛn sɛ na yaw na nipa bɔne ni miam ni apani yaw na nipa bɔne ni kɔmi kura na mi fɛ ne phone so busa ne sɛ ne wasi mu ana and also afraid na miss me be free fee and I'm say baby me free ba ne wo mum de ba me de cry de no masi ma me ba now be jam na of ADAKABRI twabo me ankanti of asofa onu cry na kai me ma me di brikasi
magu wani mas
o de kagu ma
me nam ni say ma beto
onyina mu kura ma so of we de pa chene na wasi mu kura o
si because me free easily go hills na eba me drew me fa
na che this lungo he say wanyu obi abu no ho no
me ni obi amu na mgo hwehwe obi ofa me drew UPS na me frɛ wo no wa kira he nti wo just about 10 minutes go do
na this lungo he na go fa UPS
da me ya me use UPS ho ya simple over ho ya simple me fa
o se fie na de me ko ho no
wonim so
me fa ko fie bia
o de me ko ho na ka bi si ho no
o fa se fie na me do ko eni o ka efie na de ma no if le ko o de me ti no all of no ko ye so re fi se fie na
ka fie o papa anyway
what is the open for group and no matter is le go a charge of ADAKABRI ka ho o tama ka is le go pioneers no ka ho bi
my young hwe say
o ma say ma say where we agenda no de no
we nyina ha kokubusa aboa papo we na obi sidi dan na aboa papo me do akọ ne di nkomo a afede me hu an say yet da bi hanya aboa papo na ye tama west share makosi boku an na obi sidi dan me no nyina akọ na me kire so aha so maso so dan dem ti asa boa popo se mun na kwadi die no wanya sika ti se ya dai asibi wa klagon nam ti sa mutie kesa ma chiro sa
azu ma se die ndi se odi ni nyina churi ni
ya se me na mesi sa dai anyway yes ya de papa so
ofa brade nyame adom obobi
oji wa se
omo enimu na be kan se mhunu ba ye die ni muzu abobra no for bi no kodu for di language na eko
wa ja wa se me
mi no ADAKABRI ko aye bi na ya tie ya be ko to mi no ADAKABRI ko aye bi
we mi di akwa bi ko ba bajiri siko
no fa de twem afi no fa dwane agya me bi kokoduro yi aye koduro yi ase a na tundura be na be yi tundura na nimu pa ne fe tundura be pakia of ADAKABRI na tutu ni ntuma yi na wa boni kuntunkuni mu nwense ofa oyo me boni na ka de nka ba mentra ka be di bubo ye o ta me sibi wofa e de ka we de ba ye me ti tonto mu na ko ye
we yasem
ofa bobra
o ja was
me ti o kwatra yi Legon is o ko is Legon 99
ja wasem eda ye de
ofa is Legon 99 ni che Peace FM se Peace FM 1999 em so ofa ko 94 se 97
ukwada na ne de professor me osisi so na ne ya wada minimum date no you so check mame say ukwada
dey say 7
and you
ya wada on the 8th
ne ya wada na me fi London me duru ye and am ko ho it what date na we say the near words and ye no
and I go easily go na be of most asem we easily go your professor most asem e bia na Rollins asem na aka
awesome courage great transformational plan with 5 thematic areas. And one of the 5 the economic and that's a macroeconomic theme, with also 4 areas under it. Currency stabilization, inflation, we say 152 solutions. And Alan, a profile to deal with the current challenges at Ghana. And Dr. Mamad Baumia so why unveil the new chapter with bold solutions. Ayadea Alan, any Timono, Moyamashimwana.
Famedase, Minchia Tiefo, na Minchia Minian Mumpenny Mabeshio Muha for the first time.
Madam Gazo say Union and fabric in India and Zania.
I see a carry.
Our Camidada.
And now that's what can be.
But
our you know if you work in
a industrialization. Ayo Fapema. Fabric there, a baby muke.
Quite.
Inti
College of the movement for change, representing the ideals of schematocracy. Alan Chematin. The ideals and the ideology of Chematino and schematocracy. Because you
over Ghana, you wait there. Baby, I age Sebi talk shop, your ninja. You need appetite, Emano. Talk shop. Sebi yo kasa substance in nature. Na emede say na honorable bisa questions about PSI. Say obi aye bibi pen. Ama ni ye ho questions ebisa. Na obisa kwesi say the policy on garments, PSI on garments, I specifically know a socks. A then a hina kwesi another palm and so a bemu. Before me bahono, me call garment to kakra. Of Abeka say Alan Martin introduced you National Friday Wear. National Friday Wear. Now, as an entry strategy. Esan say owonim de enim kwan ya faso ede ya de ntino nim say untimi fitia se keke enka se Ghana foi Monday anase fiti juada ekosi kwasiada monhye African Wear. Nti o shase o say National Friday Wear ene yawo nso yete he nyina ye hyebi enra ye ba studio apart from amaleba o hye ni suit bi ya hye ebi no hye no throughout the week.
Professor of Zeus.
They hye no throughout the week. Eno na kire nim se kwan etimi fa so edi nim de eni nyansa ema ne amatitini ewo man mo. Nti Alan John Kwadwo Martin nyama no represent no ebi no no ne se onim kwan ye introduce ade ema ne tintim ebe nya fapem efa ba bia nti awie de me bepie ha na the great transformational plan o can say na no fiada the National Economic Summit TUC for ba hall guta for ba hall professors civil society student groups na ba say you be build a consensus around the National Economic Development Plan. You discuss the first cluster the economic. And no, you see industrialization, infrastructure, agriculture, and tourism. Say nyama for ye, kwan be ni betimi afa so ayen hyehye ya, edi nyuma eni sika ebeba. Aye no cash and jobs economy, and jobs and cash economy. Ye hia ne se bosume bekwa wiye no, wanya adwuma pa bi aye na wanya okakrawa ahwe wo ho ani abusua. Na ebi nso aso wo fa asefo omoso eno ho ane yakobuobu ho ne 152 policy recommendations and prescriptions are free mobile because Ghana yare pa na baby Ghana da no ehia ayaresa nti eno no anso enra ye ho na ase o ye nyina ye mam panyin abedi akire co-driver of the bus of states called Ghana one Ghana for now ne party
and also a mate I na beka so a co-driver
of our onye mate we say we so ho a utimi misperceive wo ho utimi mawo ankasa senia wo hu no etimi ye wrong now so say wrong e wo sunsanso correct you say unsusan so o hwe 1992 constitution na powers of the president no etwa say yeyi obi a as vice president no abri biara president ni ho a ubetimi aya na say president o hwe mate mate bebre mu nim driving no mate bebre kro mu ni license enye requirement kra say obewo license as a mate but hwe every requirement for presidency na the same requirement and the work of a vice president. And you step down and you lower or anything. Now say who as a co-pilot etimima sebio untimi perform ye. Inti se kobane se timemufo say o performance de anyi anko animu a anasa anso ani a ebia na se ne a perceive wo ho no eno na affect kwan a osi de offer so eden eye wamanyosem. But a co-driver, we share constitution a co-driver share BBM. Now, so before me bahono, the last time a President Kufuor and Ghana for Kasai through the press, meet the press. No Jubilee House, banquet hall. Na a school full being so abaho. More one corner. And a school ni bako primary school new. Besides, President Kufuor na a dainty in a wood to uyi and now pam Alhaji Baumia as running mate. Uni president muaye
no say
o say o de Alhaji Baumia ni nimdie ni nyansa ana ode bu oman no ni titru ni economy brofumu no o ka say Alhaji Baumia na ye ne economic thinking box into decision making on the economy ni nyina no efi Alhaji Baumia ni trimu na dream po ana odi so enunti ana ofa no so beye ne running mate no inti say ne in the history of Ghana politics party bu ho a all pre-election a o dwane efi ono ane track record ho a na yebisa say eden ne baaye eden ane siye se wofa o kopo ano obehwe na shaka pie we sila mami edimrika gidigidi na say all is not well. All is not well. President Mahama campaigning on the achievement of the President Mills era. President Kufuor campaigning on the achievement of the President Kufuor era. Na koba ne saying ana President Abedi Echire ko position na osuro say obe campaigning on the record of abana ono aye co-driver of no tetia pansam bibia nkoye nti ene wo social media utietie nkrofo ano a say it was almost as if say enura bibia nsi o kofa bibia nsi ebufuo mum anaba nkrofo mu nipa bebre buafu because afiwe no ye ni appetite for empty promises. Ye ni appetite for insem dede na anu bi uka bi kire yen wentimi anya hunyuma I know some beka the same thing akire yen nti anopei na me ya analogy bi se ekia eti wechi awabo ni trenyu fefefe na amalba eye ekia boyfriend
oi munyana mam ko
for 7 years obi nkabi for 7 years for 7 years amalba timi hwe ekia kala no ho ne kra no so no asan
amalba ni
aye bibi
eno abeyi no ho ano
enzo okura yire eto ana yire fa no
na yire fa no ekia ho atete apansam amalba na amalba beka se ekia minim se 7 years ni a wo ye me girlfriend mintimi hwe wo
wentimi anwa no
o se mintimi hwe wo in fact ebrube kra mitimi eyi wasum me bo eka nsem a ensem fata kire wo na nso nyagidi o memu se o ware me na obeye megire a na me beye okunu a metimi ahwe wo
non discount ne performance
as a boyfriend 7 years ni nyina ne de on discount in fact 1 year na say no be ware ne kra no on this country because that 1 year no or promising is say stay on to me nya hwe bibi papa bi ama no enu asem a alhaji kokan no ne logic na no say na ne logic ne tie na nti Ghana we ne deserve ana
yan hwe
Ghana mebunu say that type of politics no ye ni hu appetite afiwe.
Okay. Courage no be of the movement for change. Afrafranto and Atina. And I got you.
Over.
A new chapter. Bold solutions. Selfless leadership. And wajem.
Over. Me that's it. Minim say na watche ya edi enemu edi. Ni me ensa Dr. Mahmoud Baumia and a topic for discussion. I'm surprised you kasa was say sebe aso wan kasampunra and so even enra no or discuss Dr. Mahmoud Baumia and then so what discuss no and so still propaganda and was say aso wan kasampu saa na yumani no politics ne die oyonko besa say kokko besa say nya kromafe but mesre baby to say movement for change maybe say me too move for kakra because say mo kasa na mo anhwe de mo kan ya mo doesn't you people doesn't have any basis and now we need a friends nyina so obi a mo betimi agina so de akeka ensem bi a movement for change for mo kan Alan Chematin achievement a wo kan wa achieving under which government nya BB government and to say if Alan so achievement there then NPP achievement. That's what I want to tell you. Unless Alan Chematin doesn't have any achievement.
And when Vice President look at the performance of the MPP, you know, or can be at Chematin and spearhead here.
Yes. Of an industrialization factories are some working.
Okay.
Now they went to so the first one mentioned 1D1F no. And just one industrialization was often just one kind of industrialization wasn't, but the main person can say,
or tout to the performance of the government. One would have thought to say, as part of the government achievements, no, that the Chematino, a minister or no, or back kind of swag
of artists who can be about fisheries. And Meno Casa is a winning fisheries, a landing point, your friends, a port. Fish port was a dendy. Yes, see Belgium as a 6 or 7 or my. Been see that by being a bidder. Go ahead, the SCSC, a Elmina, fair. Oh, by being a bidder. Under this government, a good for the government that see AstroTurf from Kwamakumaku over 100. A been see Waganada. Sports stadium, complete one. Oh, being a bidder. Under this administration. Me, you know, and as our mint, now feed the case, so Anka say. Oral Alan Chematin 1D1F one year Juma or Juma. Juma you know under President Akufo-Addo's government. Minimum if you knew maybe I would be me personally of owning me the kind of respect I have for that man. But mesremu man she ya number reduce number nema we are. Obama yemu bi nsu yakasa which we don't want to do that. Yenye fair analysis. Yenye fair analysis. Over
Nana Kasa.
The American say Oman Penia the Danko Akufo-Addo Dr. Mahmoud Baumia. Adia ba kwa me omaye ye me fe. Na de bia mani so na me proud to be an NPP member. And say Minia eka say courage right? Courage bet me dia dance here. Say some years back. Now of us for friend no secondary school fees. Now of us for Inua manoma and afofo ma abusuafo frɛ school fees and then free senior high school buy no yenina ya benefited from that maybe cost free senior high school but the number of burdens and ba me so no and a free ho me no nyina fa me no one case of ADAKABRI di adanse I know the number of times a course ba also abusuafo na afofo emba school fees. And no near school fees in the idea. Even if partners and school fees grant here. What frewa school fees were the better because I don't know car. Ubetia.
I went to Papa Penny. Was you Slamia?
See.
It open 50 cities. And I'm so trained. Nah, and I'm afraid a year George and I'm George Black. Was it 100 cities for 50 Papa Noah or 2 1 white. But the 50 cities in the man, no. Obedas also they make 100 bank 50. We are Papa Petty. I'm move. The ease with which you have 50. So one who's a go.
Okay, that's him go benya. Benya. Heti ofa. Me share the benefit a yen no nyina yenya under this government. Na say obi kasana opese or rubbish we no nyina. Maybe say wonye boni aya na bia na wo bayi. Ofa de to so mienu. Hwe Adia Bakwa Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia ne Mampani Akufo-Addo administration aye remarkable Ghana for rain feeder. This electricity of an near cost line here to prepaid. And not joke. Even if you are out of the country, you can still buy prepaid for your home. Digitalization drive. We are not against industrialization. May Obio Nimme know that I stand for industrialization. And I will always say this. Say me Oma Misika. Sika no ebetimi aye kwan free here ko Kumase na sika kro na ebetimi abie factories makoma 100 offer me choose 100 factories over the road because si ebie nyuma na Ghana fo benya dwuma ye tua tax me dia ye kwan no ba se ye kwan na enya sika fa me nyuma etimi die nyuma bie die me ye one person me fa ni agro offer se ye kwan na efese die na dawo da achi na wuni dwumaye na da bia so ya wutifia unya one cedi mfoka mfa so bi da it will become of no use for you. Industrialization is the way to go. Now I am happy say enema bia ya Ghana for burden me as a businessman and enema bia Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia bobo so no me bomb nsam ma no de edi kan import duty also obema in flat rate spare parts for 20 feet container ni di ni 40 feet container ni di ni yanko her content the guy say we engine there we bet 150,000 we shock absorbers nko we bet you Friday say 30,000 nemo ye bema flat rate dia the business community na ni age ni ehwe ni mu say nunti ye beto ababa Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia no aba be di akonya no so Sesia offer yes we be me this very important question. Anopai na me monitor yenuanu mandisi fu bi comment bi omo ye say dear Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia person ye bi ene obetimi aye nti wo hia se beto abama no me bisa just a simple question. Abra Professor Mostiase no na former President John Dramani Mahama na vice president right offer tambe dey start CAC E-block yes start E-block here be. Is it 2012 or 2013? Is it 2013? I think 2013. After E-blog here, E-blog here, Friday say, former President John Dramani Mahama ideology. When to me implemented time, I know a vice president. Or a president will implement it. Secondly, I didn't know a vice were implemented. The Atosumi, of our kind, dear friend, constitutional review commission. Okay. Our Professor Mills certainly up no. O fimu, ya me fa ne cleanse yi.
Asime busa wa na say.
O si ba me kasa na tire. O si o fimu
ka dia ba ko pe. O say eye duty wo various sports.
What be that question be na me answer o? O si ade na wonti mi onye ne ne.
Ade na wonti mi nye ne sese.
E no ho asem na me answer.
E na tintintin.
O say me chirem. E na me chirem tu o say. Say wo fa ADAKABRI wonim yie say. Say we are vice president you follow the decision and the direction of the president. And nema ni nyina and I will control over it. Let me say this. When it comes to practical example, when you know Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia can say Ghana phone and say E-levy obo betwem. Those who are close to him, which of ADAKABRI, meaning so you aware. Say E-levy, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia never supported it.
As I want to say.
Enti se we mampani
nyamte Sir President of the Republic on the naban of which Dr. Bawumia is vice president say almost support no pa and Dr. Bawumia can be in a business community in Nigeria. I am asking again adena sabre we say President of the Republic say na Bawumia be come here to abamana onka on support no enye Emma yen twem anya flattery so that you say oh seeing is believing adeɛ no kora no wɔtumi ne influence wɔtumi ame atwa mu ne adeɛ gyina so ato abama no
ɔfa me da ase sɛ wotie no atua Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia yi a ɔsɛ sɛ Ghanafoɔ hu ni mmɔbɔ ne ɛto abama no wei ne nneɛma me Bawumia as president mɛyɛ
na sɛ nana support no a ade na nana nyɛ ma no ma Ghanafoɔ hunu sɛ
ɔfa na ade na nyɛ nana asɛm ne yɛka wo yɛka Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia asɛm
nana ntumi nyɛ biribi amfa mo
yɛka Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia asɛm
okay
Mr. President Mampani Akufo-Addo yato abama Mampani Akufo-Addo no obu ni man yanum de sɛ ne ɔfa me mete yi o ka me de me ye me kasama ban etu be kasa me so me ka ho bi but decision making me nka ho I'm not part of the decision making enti de me pesa me ka na Ghana fo nyina ate ase ne sɛ Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia di kan ka kyerɛ Ghana fo sɛ ɔno ankasa personally ɔwɔ ne vision a ɔpɛ so ɔde ba na ɔde bɛboa Ghana ɛnora wada visions ni bebree adi bebree na ɔde ato hɔ minim yie sɛ yɛ nyina yɛbɛgye atom ne yɛasomu o compare ɛnora nsɛm a Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia kan ya megye di yie sɛ mmerɛ yi bi yɛbɛnya mbrɛ ne yɛafa no sector by sector ne yɛbie
and over the months no
yes
no ho dwuma
na Ghana fo ate ase
dem so support no a ɔka kyerɛ Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia sɛ ɔnka kyerɛ president of the republic so support no a no mani bi also bi twitwam no ɔntwam ne no be able to say Bawumia can say next year near to Abama readers as my young the
okay the aqua as a man I'm catching them and penny that your mama say Mampani Akufo-Addo preaching free senior high school from 2008 now what be munanga beti me aye wanye now we are banning abeya wosa
Madase ana wode nchiane na siama nana bolo wo drivers ne baako
okay
me mana mrade one nana ya
okay
ahomachine ya kodru safi boko
ede nyame ase
ofa
ede na de mana bolo
enra mitie his excellency
today
the vice president na nensam na okan no me take a lot of notes afi na me be analyze na ma subsequent discussions no matumi asigina ewo ho because normal bi mo nsisi so yi emame his speech was fantastic by all standard likewise his victory speech at the stadium would deliver on point in terms of his speeches in fact normal kan yi nyina wo hwa se normal indeed yede ba be ya adwuma anka Ghana beko nanim but question marks na wo ho na edoso afen so fa yenti ase se eba sweet talks I think say who pay the king of sweet talks na Nana Akufo-Addo edikan in the sense the first attempt second attempt and the third one that he won ne nsema okan ye to Ghana fo akoma so na omo adwenum a enti omo de to abanma no ye nyina ya gye atom including he himself say ade no apaska na yes ye nyina ya gidi say as a vice president no we a helper to the president but am I here and feel so say president no ama wudi bia bi to perform and sadi bia no ba ko no say we are head of the economic management team and ba ko so no say we are head of the police council enti say no ma bi tochima e police administration ni mu na nka say etoto no ma bi mu yi na say etochima pa nche say you are responsible for that thing say ba economic management team no yes I want to probably give him the benefit of the doubt in the sense that His Excellency the former President John Dramani Mahama once indicated say to even get to go or to see his boss then was a problem because of encrophobia mo ene omo free party mo omo to ayampia bontin. The normal no mo ye wo president no no they were not even allowing him. Obaba ye president no so the right honorable speaker once also stated say it was difficult for him getting to Mahama as a president until we understand the nuances of vice especially in the case of His Excellency Nana Akufo-Addo. The name say his governance style is typically that of family and friends. Until I understand him somehow, but yamma ya dwenso nko si so say Owura Nanaya Osafo Mafu praised His Excellency Dr. Muhammad Baumia as being a leader of the economic management team and a performance advisor. What their mom 2017-18 urban Noma. In fact, he praised him. But of course, those of us political watchers now who say, and I say what we had observed from the IMF's projections about growth in 2017 onwards, no, we knew it. So we felt that na coupled with the fact that Omuba Bemu to the second tranche of the previous administration's IMF program, to the extent so more extending 1 year. International says sky system. Apart from that, sinking fund, heritage fund, Ghana Infrastructure Investment Fund, Ghana Exim Bank, any other fund that is the economic buffer pillars, not a war, a sika boom into Ombetuska. Take that out. Also, Beto said there were the indigenous sectors like Kwesi Indom, your friend saying, Katie Daxi, etc. The financial sector was booming, with a few probably doing their own thing that you could have corrected. But you chose to spend quantums and as a voluminous amount of money to so-called close them down. Now, close to a down, you extended it to your friend is saying savings and loans, all those things. And at the end of the day, no, the economic buffer pillars were cleared just for some reasons that, as up to date, we only view it as selfish interest of trying to collapse the indigenous sector. Now, His Excellency Dr. Muhammad Baumia, in my opinion and observation, is a tacit admission of the fact that his government has failed. And of course, His Excellency Nanado Danko Kufuor says somebody else will come and clear the mess. And on the we and all the things he said also tells us something, that there's something amiss between Onone finance minister plus the people around the presidency, the president. In the sense, he levy no VAT on the consumption, bet, other things or so obey free honor. I have a serious problem to that. To say that in the public domain and as part of his policy ideas, tells me said there is serious trouble within the economic management team plus the cabinet. In the sense of, I would have expected, and if I were him, or if I were part of his drafting of his speech, I would have advised that he didn't go straight forward to say, I will take this off, I will take that off. I would have said, probably say that you will jojo with your president and the finance ministry to ensure, some of the taxes that Ghanaians have been complaining, when you come, you will find a way to ensure, Ghana, for our burden will be lessened. But to say it with that boldness, you will take it off. It tells me something that the vice president is not in control when it comes to the economic management team.
And just on support to such taxes now and now.
In fact, if you listened to him on Peace FM, when he was speaking about a friend say 11, actually say he was actually averse with that particular tax. Or can ye and in his sober nation, or can say sober demeanor, or can say I have for na wosha omo yusu mo money bebre. Nti say kono kwa na dream one and can sadie no yemfa to Ghana for so. Me today as I sit here, if any government comes and they want to take off the e-levy, I don't support it. I support Anka, and I have said it from day one. I support Anka. You started with a very small percentage, if 0.5 threshold. Now the bathroom kakra. But as we speak today, I cannot transfer money from my wallet to my bank account because the charge on it offer and your charge ketwa.
Well, wallet to bank account.
Yes.
No, that's not true.
Try it and see.
I've done that many times.
Oh,
the charge.
The charge.
You don't pay charges.
You pay. I'm saying try it and see. They told us that we're not going to. I'm saying
I'm going to do it right here for you.
Try and see.
The woman say, "Enra, us ubi Sunday, an amount from an account at the Momo wallet. I'm saying,
I know yet on one idea. A third party the phone so Momo wallet so no decoy. But from one Casa Momo account to your bank account, it's free. I'm doing it and I'll show the message to you.
And then when you withdraw from your bank account to your wallet too, and also your charge. Yes.
That's not true.
What are you talking about? I have done it this morning. You see, I am in pen. It is happening.
Any offer. Share. And no more charges in the Minyan day. Bills are all none of the amount.
What is
that? Free.
I say taxable amount zero.
E-levy free. There's no charge.
Oh, you see.
No, it be a whole bank.
You see.
I said that transfer. I said that Baba options in 500 cities na me typo here. And I'm saying what the amount charges in there free.
002 per
00.
Yes, Nana K.
Oh, you can also do it on your phone.
When you proceed, they will charge you.
That is not true. I do it all the time.
Man, can I say Mura?
Ofa, Obekaya. Omo catcher say all these things will not be deducted. Even when you sent 50 cities below the threshold, they were charging us. And then they came back to say
earlier on here, I can say,
yes, they came back to say they will rectify
all this, you know. Sir, Vice President on support to 11, as what actually, and notwithstanding the year G11, and not that way, Vice President. No, sister, maybe bar as a bold solution, no, my chancellor, sir, current government, no, our Vice President, some open as someone, some support, no, some per se, or winia. I don't know, intimate crimes at time.
And you know, if I make say. Anka oputu in a statement in a manner that the government probably say I'll judge with the finance ministry and the president so that taxes are gonna for a complaint such as A, B, C, D. Yebe make yebe fa ekwanya yebe fa so na anka yama gana for ehu ata sanka state in sa it means that when it means that sanka okanesa. It means that there is the possibility so better many government no at transit. Na omo jojo. Oh Nana K, why are you behaving like this? Which correction? May say at certain jurisdiction they charge. So why is the CNA charge you?
Free 0000. Tax charge you free.
The bank say free.
You transfer it and they didn't charge you doesn't mean say it is free everywhere.
No, so you can't say
so
okay, one more the
offer some media chere na wunyini. One with 00 charges.
What the chairman repeat it?
I will repeat it.
You can't foist your views on
my but what he is saying is offer or make it or generalizing it say you charge it
and you know at the bemo be and I will be
even up to date sometimes
that is not true.
Offer the patch
some banks so kasa me no ya den
offer the patch Sanka was stating aside means that he has the opportunity of sitting down with the government again because the moment he said that, no, the uproar, but it also tells you, say, he does not believe in his own government. That's the implication and how it is implied. He does not believe in his own government's policies. Until for him, I stated 4 different taxes or or say there is an unaccountable and I say unsought for, I don't know how to put it, 24 billion revenue annually. But we have not been able to collect those revenues. And I want to believe, say, these revenues comes from various quarters, be electricity, water, so and so, etc. Right? Into all these years, 7 years, 1 month, into why haven't we focused on that study? That study, actually, is about $24 billion when you see this. $24 billion is in the system that we are not collecting revenue. Why haven't we focused on those things to ensure, say, because we say something must be done now to start collecting it. And yet, say he would come out with 50 ministers, no more than 50 ministers. I know the mobile, the 126 or so. Ye kasa asarmo muayen, mot second tenure of office, and I'm about 80 something. And he tells me, said they are not listening to the vice president. It tells me, said probably they have made him a simpapini. Don't forget, Owurakojo Ponkroma had come to praise him as well as being instrumental in the e-levy drafting.
That statement is fake.
Oh, please. If it is fake, whatever it is out there.
Now everybody is going to be given 5 minutes. Yeah. No be a fantastic. Ne ideals no. Now what team finfin.
Right.
On team finfin.
What it is that His Excellency Dr. Muhammad Baumia, you can judge from afar, say he is being heckled within his own government. And I can also judge from afar, say he is peeved, but to come out to say it, no, it has been a difficulty. And he used yesterday to try to, as it were, find a way to tell Ghanaians, say, Charlie, all is not well.
Okay.
You understand? Into offer going forward, party.
And I'm about all the way. 5 minutes for Nanake, 5 minutes for courage. Tell us, the entire fair range or candidate, you know. Nana?
Offer Menko.
Aye.
Offer. And no Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, Ebubo, and Sembebre, so I'm a GD, say, Ghana for IT, no, no mutina superma, a bebo pie, because, Omayin Kanko, any, ni ye Ejina offer meno mienu eso ene yen kandi for enso eso na otie enra Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia ensema okan ya on education okan expansion on expansion and infrastructure on the law school any medical school I thought that na ye choked enipa person mo kodoso but omunya access no ye bebiem if possible ye bebie bi wo different region aka ho ama ye betimi anya because for me no me nyina nim say mokola no can happen e wanamboa una lawyer ni mokola bi obabi biem me busaw as a lawyer
Ghana School of Law oko Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology omo campus o
enyen kan here
debi tech Kumasi omo campus o
omo campus okay enti ebe papa say ye ko yanim no ye betimi abiem ni enya schools ni bi wo other regions nso no mo so etimi akọ aka eno na Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia e kan ho asem yaw e kan say also be reducing the ministers about 50 on can so be reduce or say on farm ministers more than 50 one can so be reduce I mean correct ho or say on farm ministers more than 50 and no ye Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia's government minim say minianum asheda say Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia ne pese ye guni hu fin keke but the point is that ene Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia Ghana fon to Obama no ye president nipa ya to Obama no ye president mampani adodanko Akufo-Addo ado show boy na ye president ne ono ne yedi ni tito ballot paper so Ghana for to Obama no afei edu Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia so pa men kai
oni bawu Mahmoud Bawumia Angelia obefa no as a vice president
afa ne say ombra no me support ni vision
enti ontime mfa adwembia ma no say
o de ba na o de ne media no enhia media no be supersede o de no because Ghana for jeje anye Bawumia ne bejaje Akufo-Addo
o say ono do obefa nipa 50 a same argument original so ka say obefa nipa 50 no ontime mfa nto ne boss anim say e boss say Ghana for say fa nipa 50 e beboa wo mo na me dwene 1 2 3 4 we hu a ka me susu senka ofa 50 anka beboa aka sa kire ne boss no ofa boss no so onye
ofa me no mienu ti ha yi yentimi ni adanse se waka kire na na se won kan ba ya azumi se since ono enya kukudu Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia boss wa kire Ghana for say ono under ni leadership no on farm ministers more than 50 ye betimi azumi se bi abona mane but ono so feel say
the president no ni government no support no a don't know mo nyema Ghana for hu se sampa de Dr. Bawumia so be ye no say obetimi ahwe say the see akwenya nto abama no no so ma sha ase omo yes
eno na mbezo oti ase say this current government so obema memere no ma chiri mu a this current government in Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia government
okay
Mampani Akufo-Addo government the decisions we are making Mampani Akufo-Addo na making a decision ye nyina as MPP for ye nyina support decisions Mampani Akufo-Addo making although sometimes decisions me bo on we ba yetimi sorry tia. And no, just last week of our video, so what is many abre kasa against VAT on electricity? Any body say emission tax. We fought against it, and then Mampani Akufo-Addo issue statement 15% VAT on electricity. No, they put you on hold, and I won't win offer.
Aba,
At
the cabinet level.
Yes, you put you on hold. It means sometimes the BB will hold me to me cause why you
put you on hold in your
of an hour put you on hold. Any year tremono. On hold bet me down hold the next 100 years now down hold.
And about me also your 2 man don't do
what do be free ho?
Now then only free one
support. And no thing also as I said, the Paniaku for administration no, or not they will put you on hold. But Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia under his administration also be free ho.
Obesa Bawumia winning.
Obeso winning no be free ho.
Obeso hand over man another MPP government.
Obeso winning no be free ho.
And now hand over man another MPP government.
No be free ho.
I don't know won twam won nka enye easy sanka be winning.
Na when the catcher will say of and this wadi hunu ni adayeso a Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia so no. Eni of ADAKABRI wadayeso ye pe. Enye pe. Entity asesa say the one kasaba wa no ebi anka opemu anka ofa ozo man be lawyers say wa ba menim say ba ko ozo no on fa law school ya de dekura won pe
oso be zoology
what you say the ozo be dey zoology see okay of ADAKABRI ebi ana friends say I do so be see zoology see here dey zoology see here dey
the study and behavior of animals.
You will not understand. Comment of who make you a bad this wadi hunu. Or no any swadi hunu no.
Also know that discovery was a name
Discovery TV. And watch channel one on them one idea go. What two or mass here? Media me support no nyini hunu and I said me bro ni kwa na beti ni jata di agro. Of ADAKABRI banzo beti ni jata. Edi agro ma maybe o mikrom jaso o se wo man di jatani di agro na nya sante achim jatani bia mo kofa
na nya na kwai emse Ghanaian na tai o yes wo kwa kubu se jatai wo zoo se edi na ba ya wada Delilah ena jatata ho abedo
wa what you them over eti ideas ne nyepe obi ani na nisu ade hunu ye wo gidie se Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia campaign say emission tax oba obe free ho of a betting tax or so about obey free ho.
I don't win in this year.
Oh, in the for what we say many times I may catch will say. The administration is Mampania Kufado's administration.
Okay.
Say be free one now in free on it. It doesn't lie in the bosom of Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia.
Just about be free or something.
Then the before can in the NHS on Bombay.
Okay.
The industrialization and Lanche Martin, can was in the NHS on Bombay.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, no.
There some now no there no
track record.
The track record under which government? And the same government who did a term no track record ni under the same government. And please, who they must say, Mom what ye, mo per se no mo corner say no mo corner sir. Offer. There tosubim. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia akasa about etema portal or ben automated. Me no me no nyina di adanse say toda and niema who go through etema port no a human face ni create my no. Of a yetimi automated.
Paperless.
Paperless, but a lot of things are done by you must sit before somebody.
No one can say paperless no.
Oh, paperless and they're still a paperless.
But a automated.
And you're fully automated.
You go suti.
I was the first no all the document we be kwa na the free akwa na the free akwa. But then no who free akwa no ma bodi na your system ni me wo. Ah we here so be sa papers be akura. And no who asem na enti ye ko full automation na offer. Me gidi ye say ebe boy empe ye na me de
ekwabna bazinge boating was it there are charges. I even called Fidelity Bank and they explained to me there are charges.
Offer
on also the day
me bank achire
2 days ago
me bank achire me de no fa se modia wa the bank dia me so mo me bank din me so me send this case here called car bank there are no charges. They tell your bank to speak to
consistency in the system.
And that's what a bank, you know, take time to address this issue. Yeah? Me personally, Prudential Bank. Now me send this cartoon account to my normal me. I confronted the bank that me want account to a car bank. And why you me? So why are you charging me here? Prudential for explain it to them. It's a free and only MTN for a measure no to move your charges in the back and they call. So talk to your bank and let them do the proper thing.
Okay. No courage. 5 minutes.
I tell me I want to mean kase. Who you obiya ye charge? You obiya ye charge no.
5 minutes down to a candidate and what it stands for.
Who blame me inconsistency?
Offer, but I say. Offer.
I'm an acquaint on some
who say Abrabia and a social footballer. Players now you're from the great players all time. World best no mono. yɛde bi wɔ mo ho ano ne yɛde timi di ho. It is during the times of crisis and trouble. And now omudibia. So be 2022 World Cup here. Argentina timi struggle na player bi a friend Messi. No a petty no ho no a woso no ho be na 2 goals. Wa hye mienu anase wa supply back. E kodu finals. Sa enti obi osi o leader bia no. In times of crisis.
The Fidelity, the pocket of catcher bois. Fidelity for one charge, capre. They shouldn't, disgrace the banks. Wow, fear. So bet me about Fidelity don't charge anything.
That is my bank.
Yes.
Honestly, you're trying to buy it. Courage, Casa.
During
the same bank is not true.
Of crisis.
I encourage me to you.
And you the best of leaders. It is what Western Churchill. Second World War wajini din Napoleon no money ade. Question is the president's economic thinking box. They are not yet president no ni brain on economy. Time crisis of COVID buy no. Idea ben. Den no timi kire ya ebtie say timi magana for yeshimu say sedachi. Ye de tumi hye ne sa obetimi aye. Timi kire hwe. Intine no udwane no. Alan John Kwadwo Chirematen for the limited time no survey in this government no. The track record da opifi de bia meka
7 years a limited time.
Ono ana otro the idea of one district one factory building on their Odema President Kufuor Abreso a rural industrialization. Ana manifesto ye di shemu ye baye and ye di trade ministry nation in Sawofa. For 2 solid years, one district, one factory secretariat was at the presidency. 2 years no bibi papa bia ntimi ansi because na omu ntimi hu kwan befa so abesi. And say almost stand by within 4 years omo de back to the ministry. Wafa 296 projects analan start here. Owiemu 126 and son or resign. I only create 160,000 jobs, 24,000 direct jobs. That is the Alan Chirematen track record. Osanso the special industrial zones ebaye a one-stop shop for industrialization. Senebe a one location abenya all the support services. One fan so wha o see mebunu bebre wo dotted across the country. Omu here technical and financial support as entrepreneurs into 67 business resource centers dotted across the country. As a time or resign 5th January 2023, now 37 were operational. China industrial growth it was based on such a model. And we see here. And see why a vehicle assembly without money, just by the right policy. Our policy is to be a nyansa and the trono. It me attract top 5 brands, global vehicle brands. Ne omo assemble cars ewa Nissan, BMW, Toyota and the likes. Met me can be brave 5 minutes no. Enso. Oma yen 2 hours on this show 3 hours intimi hwe. Nam sa track record ne so. Ano say Ghana for ento abama no. No mo to abama na obetimi atam Ghana agina ho ma Ghana. Ghanaians ho atoyen. Leaders into transformation and prosperity. One fan trasa or the plan aba I find the great transformational plan say to abama me a kwan way na mefa so e dia ma Ghana abeyeye ensi wow osanso say onu nkasa be ani ni team e betro budget no I betro be sika ni be fi beba kwan ye be attract sika no ene dia ye de beye o say before 2024 election no or the budget beba sa nipa we ano che say oye ready.
Okay.
Why you ready? Say obebu man. Ono ne edition nsa enye nea ono adwani fi ne on track record.
All right.
Na make ba we sisi ano. Senya me nuanu mo kasa no. Eyama Alhaji aye say JDM.
Adai.
JDM eba sa oh 2016 no ka oh meye we meye o say another na no kan no timi asi o da bi trust me meye for afedie se bibia ko ye kakra me o se ye na o se JM legacy
okay
sa na NPP 4 year almost see vice president no ni control oni tumi wanye hwe na so bibia ko super power ba mu bia alhaji dia
yaw ayewie
of amado say me this 20
Nakasama candidate me
debut Nakasama Ghana
ya ayewie na dia sa
me gidi say 2024 abana ye court to be based on track record. Unfortunately, no, two parties no omo aba mu da. So you see the Alan Beka ho, it is NPP divided into two. Indeed, the value is the same. Alan Chematin under his administration of so-called 126 factories operational. Where are they? What is their value to the economic fundamentals? We haven't seen anything. You haven't seen any value additional as support the economy. No? Me, I haven't seen anything of the sort. Apart from that, no track record will mean say monumental projects that can stand the test of time. Yet Burkina Faso, Niger, and Mali, Omo Kambo, within 6 months, they have built a record railway at China for they are going into becoming using one airline, banking system, everything. They are running with top speed. Yeah, a blame game. Obi project go we back on metwaso. Now they we are going to take note of all these things. Projects are here and I carry them. Offer feature here. Police headquarters, vice presidential villa at the previous administration. Almost say it cost the previous administration, and I just said the taxpayer, 15 million, is it $18 million or so? In the NPP buy, so-called, looking into it. They haven't done it. And at the end, we have many of such projects in the bush, and we are going to count them to ensure, so we'll use it to judge these two administrators, or more years, so for the past 30-something years. Now, the Obama value for money by the end of 2024. And in their campaign, of course, promises, sweet talks, and Ghana.
Okay.
We want to ensure, say, somebody can bring something tangible that will change the lives of Ghana.
Yeah, sorry, no.
And then,
Unia baby sim in Kasem Chow. Why Unia bag gives to Hine Kunedu? I test him, says, I don't one district, one factory coordinator. Or see Obia make a comment, he's not happy. Say, or no, Quatina Hono, Yanushi, Wanyashi. To Obefro, also Obefro.
The minute now, Obonidi can be there.
Oh, there be so I say now presidency give to England and Dano.
Na or your coordinator on
what an national coordinator
national coordinator accurately
of was sending me message we can me look under her or what was sending message what was in the chat or say the
or say I can't remember offhand as a preco subsidiary at Kumasi Tanoso. You could feel where the one F was established.
I could feel the
Western you have opportunity at the Casa Preco.
Listen,
listen on
case bank account to Abba 1% charge applies.
I know your whole bank. That's what I want. We say bet me I say some. But now generalizing. You are lying because the statement was wrong.
What can be a profound. I was say it may interrogate further.
Okay.
A 1D1F deputy spokesperson, deputy director of communications, Courage Nobi.
Yeah.
I can say first 2 years of the tenure of Nana Dankwa Kumbado Abayano. 1D1F, Nanka, a brainchild of Chamatino.
Yeah.
Ye free trade ministry, they call the presidency. Now, BB meaningful be happen within the 2-year period.
Yeah.
And now, actually, no, almost had to call back to the trade ministry. Effectively, such a Martin did 6 years, it moved 4 years, and now, or the year 1D1F. Now, 2 years, na call presidency, no, and also be meaningful, Bianco. In this instance, no, to give to a Hinu honorable, or non so. 2 years, no, on the national coordinator.
Even 2 years, but
Mammy, come on,
4 years. And number what you
say? Yeah, can
over meet you.
Me with great respect for her. And nothing I may yes that further clarification say or no, and no. All we need to do is to interrogate. Says our first 2 years, no, a dear and a course, so further 4 years, no, a dear and a course, so was it a pointer, not trade minister, no, wow, or sure 1D1F. And now a year coordinator, so nah. Let's do that. Coordinator, why deputy to Chematinda?
Da.
It is say, and I'm about to come on talk. let's leave it here. Nothing, no. Yentimi.
Of course, me man ready we crown some man. No, say we.
Me ready.
You ready.
What's cool, fresh and trendy with a new look? Makes you feel real good, that refreshing vibe. Satisfies you right just the way you like.